And we are live.
All right. Hi, guys. Good evening. Good morning. How are you all doing? Hope everyone is keeping fine, healthy. It's been a while. I think almost 2 months that we last did our live stream. So, yeah, the World Championship season is upon us. So, we thought that we might as well, connect to chatter a few things about all the World Championships which are coming in the coming days. I mean, we'll keep it a little casual, not so much in-depth analysis we've been able to do. Just a few talking points from each of the sport on for which World Championships are going to happen. That's the main theme of this stream. But before that, if someone can just confirm in the chat the voice quality and everything is fine. Kapil, do you also want to say something so that everyone gets to know your voice quality is also fine?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is there anybody in the chat for whom it's good morning? मैं बोला गुड मॉर्निंग किसके लिए होगा यूएस वालों के लिए.
Well, there are a few people who are regulars for us who join in from the US.
एनीबडी इन द चैट हु फॉर इट्स गुड मॉर्निंग जस्ट टेल अस हाई इन द चैट कि तुम लोग अमेरिका या और कहीं से देख रहे हो जहाँ पे तुम्हारा गुड मॉर्निंग हो रखा है क्योंकि हमारा तो
I'm
यार गुड इवनिंग
sure
नहीं गुड नाइट हो गया है लेकिन ठीक है.
Ashish, Anubhav, I can recall a couple of these two regulars. Nikain also joins in very often.
और हाउ हैव
Yeah.
यू बीन क्या चल रहा है.
I have been doing good. You tell me. I mean, so guys, I know
थोड़ी
this is
सी
World
और स्लो.
Championship review, and your voice is low.
थोड़ी सी बढ़ा देते हैं और तो क्या.
Even Sai Dattu is joining from US couple.
यस आई सॉ दैट.
So yeah, good to see that. So guys, couple all day, all night, he's been tweeting about cricket and chess over the last I don't know how many days. But I
क्या
was
करूँ कुछ.
successfully able to drag him to do this live stream and ensuring that we are not going to talk about cricket or chess at all
ओके चलो
in this
थोड़ी
live
मैंने
stream.
वॉइस बढ़ाई अपनी एंड आई थिंक थोड़ी आई थिंक आई कैन रिड्यूस वेब ऑफ सो फॉर इक्वालिटी होपफुली इट्स बेटर नाउ. माइक तो मेरा बराबर ही है. या
So, Kapil,
हाँ.
what's up
व्हाट टू
with
डू
you?
या व्हाट टू डू मेन इवेंट्स क्रिकेट और चेस में ही चल रहे हैं क्या करूँ मैं नाउ द वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप्स आर कमिंग. Hopefully there's some more interesting competition because other than cricket and chess really badminton is going on and table tennis is going on. But then table tennis, we were never elite. We are like one level below elite. And badminton maybe is having, we are having our worst period since the arrival of Saina Nehwal, arguably. I mean, there have been a certain few other times as well which have been bad, but arguably you can say we are having the worst time since the arrival of Saina Nehwal at the elite level, not
Yeah, I think
below elite
we
level.
we spoke about last time also.
Yeah.
It's not that when everyone is northwards that you follow a sport. When the chips are down, then also you need to watch it and follow it and support the athletes.
Yeah.
Last time I think we did discuss it.
Yeah, that
So
is your
ऐसा नहीं
opinion.
है
And
कि
uh,
yeah, of course it is my opinion only, but I mean I'm just countering कि cricket and chess के अलावा there are lots of things going on. You need to थोड़ा
बैडमिंटन ही तो
सा
चल रहा है और क्या चल रहा है. तू ही बता दे.
रेसलिंग में रैंकिंग सीरीज चलती रहती हैं, शूटिंग में
कहाँ
वर्ल्ड
एक आधी
कप्स
हुई
आर
थी
देयर.
शूटिंग वर्ल्ड कप. आई फॉलोड बट इट्स बीन अ while since the last one happened. Shooting World Cup
या
I definitely followed. Ranking series ठीक है I didn't follow but it wasn't the best people weren't there and that's also been a long time. It's
डिड
not
यू
like
फॉलो
recent.
नीरज चोपड़ा क्लासिक
Yes, Neeraj Chopra I
दैट यू
followed.
फॉलोड?
Neeraj Chopra I followed. Diamond League में भी Classic में भी wherever he is come. नीरज चोपड़ा I definitely followed. और क्या था. इनफैक्ट वर्ल्ड गेम्स अभी चल रहा है. डिड यू फॉलो द वर्ल्ड गेम्स.
या नॉट रियली, नॉट अ फैन.
हाँ सो मतलब
I mean, I didn't even know something of this sort existed like before this. World University Games सुना है, World Military Games सुना है.
हम्म.
अब ये एक नया एक क्या कॉन्सेप्ट आ गया वर्ल्ड गेम्स.
नहीं वर्ल्ड गेम्स पहले भी आया था. आई रिमेम्बर. आई डोंट रिमेम्बर कितने साल पहले था. मे बी माइट बी 4 years ओनली. बट लास्ट टाइम आदित्य मेहता had won the गोल्ड इन स्नूकर. मुझे इतना याद आता है. सो एंड देयर
But
वर
do you
बिग.
know any prominent athlete featuring from India right now currently?
Yeah, so I mean Compound archery, I think they might, you can say, right? They were prominent. The compound archery, the couple of guys and the couple of girls who went. मतलब ठीक है कंपाउंड आर्चरी के एकदम टॉप एथलीट मे बी दे माइट नॉट बी बट इन द टॉप 5 6 इंडिया वाले के थे who keep
Mm,
competing in trials, so they were there. I know कि snooker में you had Kamal Chawla and Saurabh Tiwari, which from a snooker perspective it's like, let's say, two of the top 4 5 snooker players in India. So mainly it's जो मैंने देखा था, I remember last time also जब हुआ था, या कि World Games is like it's considered to be the Olympics of non-Olympic sports,
yeah, I
but
mean, I
nobody
read
really
that on
takes it
social media.
हाँ, but
Mm.
nobody really takes it too seriously. Problem वो है. And
There's no coverage at all. I mean, outside of social media,
हाँ बिल्कुल.
except for the few sports handles who like religiously track all the
हम्म,
sports,
हम्म.
nobody is also talking about it. No.
या मतलब वही प्रॉब्लम, वही है, कवरेज नहीं. और आई रिमेंबर एटलीस्ट आई डेंट सी दिस टाइम, लास्ट टाइम आई रिमेंबर देवर लाइक मेडल्स ऑल्सो जस्ट फॉर शोइंग अप. मतलब कुछ इवेंट्स थे जिसमें दो ही लोग आए हैं, एक को गोल्ड मिल गया, एक को सिल्वर मिल गया. मतलब वैसे भी इवेंट्स लास्ट टाइम हुए हैं, नॉट आई डेंट सी दिस टाइम. बट या वर्ल्ड गेम्स के बारे में आई जस्ट से कि आई मीन आई वाज नॉट इन बॉम्बे, आई वाज ट्रैवलिंग, जिसके वजह से आई डेंट रियली वॉच, बट अदरवाइज आई माइट हैव, I think I would have turned it on, but at least snooker तो मैं देख लेता, because billiard snooker is something I still do follow. And by the way, I did follow it. तो बोल रहा है कि क्रिकेट एंड चेस ही देख रहा था. I did follow. अभी वो snooker का भी वर्ल्ड सिक्स है चैंपियनशिप्स हुआ था. I did follow. So I see, but yeah, not the best results. Let's say not bad also, but not the best results. It was like, I think we had like 3 out of 4 semi-finalists, and then but we didn't get the title. ऐसा कुछ हुआ था.
Mm.
So
इससे पहले the World University Games, I would say, were rather interesting.
हाँ, वो तो अलग ही चीज है, राइट? आई मीन यूनिवर्सिटी गेम्स इज बेसिकली essentially an age level competition, not totally, but
Yeah, but
somewhat an age level competition. And yeah, world games
yeah.
is
So couple of things. One, it is more definitely more popular than World Games.
yeah, वो
Secondly, from an Indian perspective, there were at least athletes who are known, who are
true.
mainstream athletes and were participating. So that way, there was some interest still.
Yeah, true. मतलब लेकिन I mean they are completely different things. It's just because they have the name world in them doesn't mean that they are similar events. The events are completely different. World Games का
Yeah.
concept ही वही है कि it has sports which are not there in the Olympics. So
Mm.
first of all, you have to follow sports beyond Olympics to be interested in World Games. If you're only following Olympic sports, you're not going to be interested in World Games at all.
Yeah. True that. Cool.
चलो,
I think. How do you want to go?
तो क्या आई
Let's
थिंक
go
हाँ
one
तो
sport at a time.
या
Starting with badminton.
चलो बैडमिंटन चलते हैं सबसे पहले. That's your draw. You
So,
want to start
guys,
from?
those who are watching this, like I said, it's not something analytical. We are just going to read through the draws. What are the propositions of our athletes? And there's not much analysis which has gone into it. I would request, let's keep it engaging. Put in your thoughts and comments, whatever you feel, based on the conversations we are having. Yeah. ठीक है
Uh,
कपिल, let's go on.
yeah, I mean, draw में obviously in general जो सब जगह चल ही रहा है कि we have kind of been screwed on the draw overall, पूरे ही में. I mean,
Yeah.
Lakshya Sen has just gone and straight away banged into Shiyuchi. I guess you can say the one good part is maybe that you can say कि Lakshya Sen का performance has been a little better in the earlier rounds than the later rounds. So you can argue that way that maybe he has a chance against Shiyuchi, but obviously I don't think there's any doubt that the Chinese is going to be a strong favorite here. इसमें कोई
Yeah,
doubt नहीं
he's
है.
going to be the favorite, that's for sure. And I mean, you can't, you have to factor in the level of Lakshay's play as well, right?
Exactly.
I mean, he's been inconsistent all his career, but currently that inconsistency level is also, I think, at its peak. And rather, I would say not just inconsistent. He's not been able to perform only at the highest level. So I think ever since his junior days, since when he was 17 or 18 and transitioning to the senior, this is the lowest of his entire career, I would say. The kind of the kind of badminton he's playing currently.
Yeah, and I mean the only thing you can say is that you have had a theory in the past, right? Ke Lakshya Sen needs to like really prepare for an event to do well, and when the events keep coming thick and fast, he's not that good. Like if he has time to prepare and he's focused on one event, like let's say the Olympics, at that point, he can perform better than the standard run of the mill BWF event. So you would
Hmm.
imagine World Championship is the event he would be focused and prepared for. But then, because he's going straight against Shiuchi, even if he loses, your theory is basically not getting tested here, right? थियरी
Yeah,
यहाँ पे टेस्ट हो जाती है लेकिन अब नहीं हो रही है
and
बिकॉज
I think that. Hmm.
हाँ बोल हाँ बिकॉज वो इशी के सामने तो आई मीन इट्स लाइक इफ ही विंस ग्रेट ह्यूज विन बट इट्स गोना बी डिफिकल्ट एंड ठीक है फिर प्रॉब्लम वो भी है जीतने के बाद भी देन क्वेश्चन विल ऑलवेज बी कि हाउ फार ही गोज इवन इफ ही बीट्स लेट्स से if he let's say he has a great match and let's say he beats Shiuchi, still he goes and loses in round three, it's not gonna be considered an impressive performance anyway.
Yeah, true that. I think the theory also doesn't hold true here is also because, I mean, broadly speaking, I think there is some underlying issue currently with him. Maybe it's because of the motivation levels that he's carrying
Mm,
post Olympics. Generally, we see a lot of athletes when they
yeah.
hit that high in the Olympics, and then this being a post Olympic year, right? It's
Mhm.
not easy to overcome that. Even more so, maybe in Indian athletes. I don't know if that is true or not, but that could be a problem. His game is not just not there in any of the BWF World Tour events also. मतलब वो spark जो होता था, every now and then he was able to pull off a win or perform to that level, maybe except for one match. I don't know which he won recently, which was against a top player. I don't remember him winning any single match which can be considered that okay, Lakshya is showing glimpses of at least coming back. There's nothing out there. So yeah, it's a pretty grim situation, I would say.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree with the post-Olympic year concept also. I mean, post-Olympic year, I've always said that a post-Olympic year is always weird. You don't really know what's happening, and the thing is, we are sort of forgotten about it because the last Olympic cycle was different. Because COVID के वजह से Olympics got shifted from 20 to 2021, so we didn't really have a post-Olympic year in the last Olympic cycle. क्योंकि सिर्फ 3 साल का cycle था. तो इस बार 4 साल का cycle है, and that first year is feeling empty. you know uh, and yeah ठीक है sometimes it benefits, like let's say for example it benefited Shrikant in 2017, which is the theory we have had, which we have
Hmm.
also discussed. So it benefited Shrikant in 2017. This time it's going the other way where everybody is struggling. We don't know if they will come back, but yeah, we have to wait till let's say things start getting, let's say, a little more serious and little more geared towards things like Asian Games and Olympics and everything next year. But yeah,
Yeah,
as of now, the situation is definitely grim. And
yeah. Although Kapil, one thing, actually, a couple of things to be noted here. One, he's shown enough that he is a big tournament player and he is able to draw those motivation levels when it comes to World Championship or Asian Games or, for that matter, Olympics also. So that's definitely there. What we know from social media again is that he's preparing actively in France currently, went there few days back, and is engaging with the local French players and practicing with them. So I mean, the theory I'm assuming here is that maybe a lot of preparation is going into it and he's able to draw that motivation levels that he generally does. Secondly, the very first match in a world championship against Shiuchi. Now Shiuchi is an outright favorite for the title also in these world championship. He's been the most consistent player this year, but it's a first match and at the end of the
yeah,
day, and I mean the unpredictability is always there, and I just know Shiuchi won't be comfortable playing Lakshay in his very first match in the world championship. So you
also,
you never know.
and also she is not unbeatable, right? He
Yeah,
doesn't have the aura, let's say, that Victor Axelsen cultivated at some point. It's debatable if whether that aura is still there, but at least going into, let's say, last Olympics and a little before that, he had really cultivated that aura, which Shiuchi is not completely there. He's close, but not completely there. So yeah,
yeah.
it's
And
not
also
ke
it's about matchup. Like aura
uh,
is one thing.
hmm,
Second is matchup. Like even in matchup, it's not like Shiuchi is, Lakshya can't match up to him in all his matches that have happened with Shiuchi. It's Lakshya has been able to compete with him. Let me
compete, हाँ.
let me just put it that way.
हाँ, but compete का फिर वही है. I mean, it's like compete gets you to like 17, 18, but winning is a different battle.
Yeah.
But देखते हैं. So anyways, no hopes there. If it something happens, great, but unlikely. Uh,
Actually, going beyond also, even if let's say because of the first match he's able to beat Yuchi,
mm,
then again he's likely to face a couple of local players. So
yeah.
Popov and then Lanier, right? Alex Lanier.
Mm,
So none of them are going to be easy again. I
yeah.
don't think he can, beat all these three back to back to back. It'll be super difficult.
Yeah, that's okay. But I mean, at the end of the day, you have to face some seed in round three and some seed in quarterfinal, right? Those point of views, I think
Yeah,
Popov and Lenier are definitely not bad. Not a bad draw there. I mean, you have
but
to beat.
there's more to the
Home
seeding here,
aspect,
right? Both of them are in presently
good form.
momentum in terms of
Mm,
their game improving, over the last few months, and then
mm.
again, local conditions does do favor, right?
हाँ ठीक है, but honestly मेरा point वही है कि you have to face somebody, right? So I mean, who else would you rather face? That's my question. I think if you picked out of the seeds, okay,
Hmm.
if you have to face like one seed in the round of 16 and then one seed in the quarterfinal, uh, Lenier and Popo would be pretty high on the list of the seeds you would want to face from
Maybe
that
not at the
perspective.
moment. Not at the moment.
Who else would you
Anyone
pick?
else from, let's say, Kodai or a.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean, Kodai hasn't been himself the way he was last year or maybe last to last year. So he hasn't been in great form.
ठीक है.
Yeah. Can you see anyone else? I mean, it's very
I mean,
small font for me. I'm just. Let me
Lin
open
Chun
it.
Yi है 12th seed, but
Uh,
not much else. I mean, I'd rather not face the Chinese players. I'm always a little scared of the Chinese players. Loken Yu is
yeah.
a unpredictable guy, but yeah,
Yeah, Loken
definitely,
you would have been a better proposition for sure.
yeah, but still, I mean, at least it's one of the better matchups. Let's put it that way. There are much more
Hmm.
scarier options there. Obviously, Shiuchi is still the first round, तो वहाँ पे वो खत्म ही हो जाता है. But yeah,
Yeah.
beyond Shiuchi, I think the draw is not that bad actually. If you can somehow get past, but फिर
No,
उसमें वो
I
भी हो
wouldn't
जाए.
agree with that actually. Because right now Christo Popov is playing really well. I think he went to a final also of some major tournament very recently, and Alex Lanier, I mean, for him, he would consider this world championship to be the proper stepping stone of him getting to the top level now. I mean, everyone, the entire badminton world has been talking about it, right? That he's the
Hmm.
next Axelsen or Antonsen to be coming out from Europe. So yeah,
ठीक है.
I think it's a crucial tournament for him as well, and he's not going to let it go very easy. I see him rather be if draws play to the seeds. I think it'll be very interesting his quarterfinal versus Shiuchi, and I would rather actually give it to Lanier that he might be able to overcome Shiuchi also in quarterfinal. It won't be a big surprise if he wins a medal. Is how I see it.
ठीक है. I'll be surprised. I'll just put it there. I'll be
Yeah.
surprised. उसके बियॉन्ड मतलब बाय द वे एक्सेल्सन का पता है कि कब तक इंजर्ड है, क्या है, कुछ है?
Yeah, I think I remember seeing his tweet that he's not ready yet to come back to the full tour.
हम्म,
But timelines ka even I'm not sure.
ठीक है. अच्छा, एनीथिंग अबाउट प्रणॉय? आई मीन, first round is easy. He should be able to get through the first round. Second round, then Antonsen. Again, बात
Yeah,
वही है कि his own performance. Antonsen is definitely not a scary opponent, but again, Planoy ka own performance hasn't inspired confidence.
yeah, he's not just been the old Pranay that we are known or used to seeing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see him getting past Antonsen.
Yep. And that
One,
should be a simple second round, right? Both of them seem to have easy first round opponents,
yeah,
barring any major upset.
true, true. I would have wished to see Ayush Shetty here. I actually don't know when the timelines of the cutoff were,
Mm,
but currently, obviously, he's playing at a better level than Pranoy, and I mean, just from an overall standpoint, like, would have been good for him to get exposed to such a big tournament this early in this Olympic cycle, ताकि वो एक होता है ना, he would have, the base would have gotten set up that okay,
mm.
this is how the elite level happens, and this is how the major championship work out. Next year, I think it'll be a lot to handle
It will be
all
much more
the.
difficult as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be super difficult. Like, next year would be his first proper senior year, and he would have Asian Games, he would have all the super 750s and thousands to attend, and then World Championship again. So yeah, would have been better अगर वो qualify कर जाता, but yeah, it is what it is.
बट उसका भी रियली एक ही इवेंट अच्छा था, राइट, आयुष शेट्टी का. बाद में आई थिंक आफ्टर दैट वन गुड इवेंट आई थिंक ही स्ट्रगल्ड इन अ कपल ऑफ इवेंट्स, राइट? Am I remembering wrong?
uh at 300 level he's been consistent.
Okay.
He, from what I remember, he's made to the semi-finals of at least three 300 level tournaments
Hmm.
that I know. 750,000 में तो इतना exposure मिला ही नहीं है, because अब जाके तो he's become a top 30 player, so now he'll start entering those tournaments.
ठीक है.
So yeah, I mean, nothing extraordinary, but yeah, he's been performing to that top 30, top 40 level, and thoda sa wait and watch situation hai. We'll have to see how he progresses further. But he's got the game, he's got the physicality. I don't know about the mental aptitude, but physicality and the technical, game that is required, especially from a men's single standpoint, that's pretty much there. Good in attack, solid in defense. So all of those fundamentals are there. So that's why a little hyped up on him.
ठीक है, चलो देखते हैं. Before moving on, you want to give a prediction of like the gold medalist? One guy.
Ah, interesting.
I think I'll go with its son. I'll
Okay, Kunlavut.
Yeah, Kunlavut.
Okay. Yeah, I can predict that. I would. Okay, I'll predict Lanier versus Kunlavut final. Okay.
Okay, so you're taking two.
Yeah.
ठीक है, चलो. So ये वुमेन में ऐसा क्यों हो गया? अच्छा, ये ओनली पुट सिंधु का पार्ट क्या? नहीं.
Yeah.
ओके. या.
I think next वाली सिंधु है ना.
हाँ.
हाँ, women singles होगी.
हम्म.
Explainer comment में बोल रहा है Shetty similar to Excelson. I would agree to that. Even I sort of remember Excelson whenever I have watched him play.
आई मीन ठीक है यार, इतने बड़े बड़े कंपैरिजन बहुत जल्दी हो गए अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, बट ओके.
No, I
आई
mean
गेट द लॉजिक, आई गेट द
game,
लॉजिक,
the
बट
style
स्टिल.
of play is similar, and also a lot of it comes from the height also, right? Like, he's tall and is able to produce those steep smashes.
नहीं, आई गेट द
Very early
लॉजिक,
days.
बट
Hmm.
आई डोंट लाइक सच कंपैरिजन अ लिटिल टू अर्ली. थोड़ा प्रेशर भी ज़्यादा पड़ जाता है, बट ठीक है.
Hmm. It's not like he's listening to you watching this
दैट्स
video कि
ऑब्वियस.
हाँ, he'll start
दैट्स ऑब्वियस.
feeling
मतलब
the
जब
pressure.
तू कर रहा है तो दूसरे भी करेंगे. यू आर नॉट गोना बी द ओनली पर्सन हु विल डू इट.
Yeah, all right.
ओके, सिंधु बोलो. आई मीन ऑब्वियसली, undoubtedly she's going through the worst phase of her career, and it's been quite long now. It's not like the phase has lasted small. At least what, 3-4 साल से. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Let's say post COVID. I think post COVID she's never really come to the top.
yeah. I think it's an issue of will at the moment, I would say. Like,
Yeah.
she's, again, a lot of it is coming from the social media, right? You don't know what's going inside an athlete's body and mind, but no pun intended. So yeah, coming back to it, I mean, I feel she's enjoying her life at the moment, and I don't know how motivated she is to, you know continue
Yeah. Yeah,
putting in those efforts that required for her to be in the top 10. So yeah. That's
Yeah, I'm
pretty
not
much
I'm
about
not
it.
sure about that. I mean, because you can argue about motivation, since in recent times after, or let's say after the Paris, you can argue about motivation, but the downside has been going well before since Paris. I don't think it's a motivation thing. I think it's just for whatever reason she's lost her mojo. She's been found out by others or whatever it
So
is.
Kapil, I mean, she's not been the most technically gifted player. She's never
So
been
always
that,
based on
right?
power and
Physicality.
so you can say कि maybe
She's been a
physically now
physical
she's
beast.
older. You can say physically she's older. Maybe that's having an impact, but I don't think it's a motivation thing. That's my
Yeah, so
opinion.
what I meant, yeah, obviously she's because she's closing in on 30, so that physicality is also not at its peak, but for her to be a physical beast on court and to have that proper court coverage to overcome the lack of technicalities or skills in her game, she had to always put in that efforts, extra efforts to be at the peak of her physicality. And for that you do require a lot of motivation during the training also, not just the tournaments.
But ठीक है मतलब we obviously don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
मुझे लगता है it is more the case of the body is not supporting rather than the mind not
could
supporting.
be, could be a possibility, but yeah, I think it's the last time for her, I would say, to maybe
I,
goodbye with the last hurrah, as they say. I
नहीं,
mean,
मतलब
it would be amazing if
you mean
she,
till LA or you mean this World Championship?
yeah, till World Championship. Like maybe if not this year, we can see last year where she's continuing to put in those efforts. But for me, I feel it's very difficult to see her continuing beyond 2026. Honestly,
Okay. मतलब मेरा ओपिनियन इन केसेस में हमेशा यही होता है कि if she wanted to quit she would have done so by now. The fact that she has not quit so far tells me she's looking at LA. Now maybe things
or
might not.
maybe Asian Games.
Yeah, but I don't think again I don't think Asian Games is that big enough. मतलब मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि if she's especially for her, who has two Olympic medals in her kitty, she also has Asian Games medals in her kitty. It's not like a situation कि okay मैं Olympic के दो medal जीत ली लेकिन Asian Games अभी तक नहीं जीती हूँ तो I want to win that. Like let's say मीराबाई चानू का वो केस है, right? कि
No, she
मीरा
does have a silver medal in Asian Games
Exactly,
also.
that's what I'm saying, right? कि जैसे मीराबाई चानू
Mm,
has that case where she hasn't won an Asian Games medal, but she has won an Olympic medal. So that is
yeah,
a different situation. But so इसीलिए I feel कि the fact that she is still playing says that she wants to at least play till LA. But yeah, if the performance keeps going down, then you don't know. She might give up at some point.
yeah.
But I
Yeah,
think
obviously, the youngsters who are coming up with 3 years, 3.5 years yet to go for LA, they will also have a lot of say in how
uh,
Sindhu is able to keep up
yeah,
to her rankings. Secondly, Kapil, for these World Championship, at least the biggest motivation for her is that she can put herself into that exclusive club of having the highest World Championship medals. Right now, she's tied up with Zhang
okay.
Ning on 5 World Championship
This is
medals.
only women singles, right?
Women singles, yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
So Zhang Ning and her, I might be wrong, but I think it's Zhang Ning only, the 2 times Olympic champion. So both her and Sindhu are tied up at 5 world medals currently. So it'll be obviously good for her to sort of win the sixth one.
But let's be honest, yeah, the medal is very far here. I mean,
Yeah.
she should come through the first two rounds. I mean, honestly, the way she's going, you can't be too surprised if she somehow falters there as well. But you expect her with this draw, she should come through the first two rounds. I mean, I've not heard of the other names. Have you heard of the other three names? जो पहले दो राउंड में है.
Uh,
If you
huh,
can't read,
Clara has
नहीं नहीं
been
क्लारा नीचे
there.
है ना, क्लारा नीचे है. क्लारा
अच्छा,
will go to
Clara
Wang
तो ऊपर
easily.
है. Yeah, yeah, the first 2 rounds will be fair. I was just trying to search her recent matches with Wang Ziyi because from what I remember, the last match I can see is in 2024, but I wouldn't say that Wang Zi is totally unbeatable like a Tai Tzu Ying or a An
Yeah,
Se
yeah.
Young for her, right? Wang Zi still is beatable if Sindhu is able to, let's say,
उसके
keep up
बाद
at
मियाजाकी है.
हाँ 80 or 90% level पे भी the way she used to be, I think we have a matchup there. And yeah, like Sindhu again, she's a major championship beast, right? You just can't discount her
But
at
that
all.
major championship beast storyline has also been beaten for the past couple of years, right? 3 years, let's say.
Past two times, I would say,
दो वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप and
Olympics
एक
and the
ओलंपिक्स.
previous World Championship.
I think उसके पहले वाला भी she did not do well, right? I think two world championships she missed out.
Yeah,
22
okay.
and 23, less than
22
24
and
का
23.
and then 24 का Olympics. So that's 3 years now.
Yeah,
So
true that.
उसमें उसमें फिर Asian Games भी add कर लो.
Yeah.
तो it's now it's you can't rely on that narrative anymore.
But what if she's able to beat Wang Ziyi?
Then
Do,
great.
then does it open the draw for her?
No, it doesn't. Miyazaki are next.
I think she did beat Miyazaki very recently, no?
Did she?
I
No.
remember, yeah.
नहीं नहीं यार. Check कर.
There
Must
was
be old.
one of Miyazaki or another Japanese player.
Yeah,
See,
she might have beaten some.
23rd July, Sindhu Downs Miyazaki.
Okay, ठीक है.
So it
Okay.
was a
Uh,
three game and she did beat Miyazaki. It was in China Open.
okay, ठीक है. I didn't
Yeah.
remember that.
So that's
Okay.
what I mean. If she's
मतलब
able to
open up नहीं
beat
होता
Wang
draw.
Ziyi,
The draw
hmm,
doesn't open up, but yeah, okay. It's you can argue okay, it's then a winnable match. Let's put it that way.
see after that, who would it be? Miyazaki, Hanyu. I'm pretty comfortable. She can match up to her any given day, no matter if she's world number one also. And then it will be Yamaguchi. So
But
essentially, in a draw after Ziyi, it will be Yamaguchi, Hanyu, Miyazaki as the players
but
she'll have to
already बहुत
get
आगे पहुंच गए
past.
हैं. सबसे I mean if she gets past Wang Zi itself, I'm happy very much. उसके बाद next is Miyazaki. Then you get to Miyazaki या Hanyu है, right? It's one of the two. Or is it both?
So I mean, till quarters it will be Miyazaki, and then possibly in semi-final it will be one of Yamaguchi or
No,
Hanyu
no. Hanyu
based on the
versus.
seedings.
Okay. Yeah, quarterfinal is Hanyu versus. Yeah, okay. Quarterfinal will be Hanyu versus Miyazaki, seeding wise. So,
Yeah. See, it's
so,
not
so
the end
comfort.
of the world for sure. I mean, it looks like a, I won't say good draw, but it's reasonable that what better draw she
Yeah,
would have got,
draw
no?
wise it's fine, but yeah, it's the level of play. I mean, honestly, I'm
Hmm.
not seeing past Vanzi. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, obviously Wangzi would start as a favorite, but
and I think we tend to maybe underestimate Wangzi a little bit because she's not as good as the Chinese of the past, but then she is still pretty good, and she's no Anse Young or Tai Zhuiying or Carolina Marin or whatever, but
hmm,
she
which
is still
is
a top
the
level player.
fair
Yeah.
argument to have, right?
Mm.
Because she's not the best Chinese to have come from the recent times, so that makes her beatable.
Yeah, but I mean, Sindhu's play is also very low, right? At the
Yeah, yeah, of
moment.
course. I mean, the
So,
premise here is that Sindhu is able to perform, at her nearly best. That's
ठीक है.
the premise. So yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have to see on that.
देखते हैं. Yeah, but ठीक है. You want to pick one name here to win? I think Anse Young must be the top seed, right? तूने ऊपर का draw डाला नहीं, but I'm assuming she's playing, right?
She is playing. I can see her in the draw. Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward.
यहाँ पे मतलब
Who is
prediction
going
तो easy
to?
है. Yeah, Anse Young, right?
Hmm. Yeah, true that.
चलो फिर आगे चले. To maybe
Yes.
the draw is from hell, but at least you have some hope here in terms of the level of play. In
I don't know, man. I mean, even for Satvik Chirag, if we are talking about draws and their chances being draw dependent, I think we are doing a little injustice to them and their achievements. Just my opinion. I don't know what you think about it.
no, but I think at this point it is valid because the thing is they have struggled from injuries. Okay, but the fact is that they are not near their best at the moment. Okay, the reason is that they have been struggling for injuries, but then the reason is irrelevant when it comes to evaluating their chances at the World Championships, right? It
Mm.
doesn't matter that they are struggling because of injuries or they are struggling because their play level has gone down. The fact
Yeah,
of the
they're
matter
struggling
is,
to get back to the form, that's for
Exactly.
sure.
So in this status, you definitely don't want to face a Liang Wang in your third round, for sure.
But doubles may again for Satvik Chirag, we are looking at a medal here, right? Even if
But
they
acha,
are, let's say, coming back and trying to get back to the form, what
that,
would you expect from Satvik Chirag?
yeah,
You would
that's
expect
okay.
that they'll be on a given day, they can beat any damn men's doubles players in the world, right?
But I mean, if you are listing the pairs whom they have the worst record against or whom they have struggled against, even when they are at peak, both Liang Wang and Aaron So would be at the top of the list. If you are picking,
That's true.
matchup wise अगर तू बोल रहा है, these are bad matchups. अब ऊपर ही सत्विक चिराग के ऊपर नाम दिखता है गो और निसुद्दीन. गो और निसुद्दीन को ले आओ यार सामने, हरा देंगे हम,
Hmm.
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
So I'm not denying the draw is not bad for them. I
हम्म,
mean, I'm saying I agree that draw is bad for them. I'm not denying that as a fact.
हम्म.
I'm just saying that for Satvik and Chirag, I think it's okay. Like on a even if they would have faced Chia So, let's say they were not seeded here and they would have faced Chia So in the very first round, I would have been still comfortable with that. I
Honestly,
don't
I
mind that.
honestly I am scared of like Liang Wang even more than Chiaso. That's my
See,
honest.
Liang Wang, they have been comfortable against Satvik Chirag, but even they are struggling with the form at the moment, right?
हाँ ठीक है,
So
you can.
we do factor in कि हाँ ठीक है उनसे ज़्यादा हारे हैं, rather than the win loss ratio is in favor of the Chinese. That's for
हम्म.
sure. But it's not like they can't beat Wang Lian.
I mean,
It's not
obviously they
like
can
that.
beat. This is definite. मतलब, this is still our best hope, right? If we are looking for a medal from this World Championships, Satvik Chirag is still our best hope, and I don't think it's close. Okay,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
true.
you can include Lakshay in there, you can include PV Sindhu in there. और तो कोई नाम लेने लायक भी worth नहीं है in terms of medals. So it's definitely not close. In fact, I would say if there is anybody who is giving even who has even some chances of a medal, it's probably Satvik and Chirag only. And I'll be very surprised if a Sindhu or the Lakshya or anybody else can return with a medal. Satvik Chirag definitely have a chance, but with this draw, that chance is also very low. I would say
Hmm.
less than 20% for me, not more than that.
True. True.
Yeah, now Satvik Chirag at their peak and completely fit, that would have been a completely different story. But Satvik Chirag, where they are right now, in general, so from what I have seen, they are beating the lower level teams, they are beating the second ranked teams. But generally, when they face a top team, especially a team like Sochia or some other team against whom they have struggled and who have been in the top for a while, they are struggling. A Go and Isuddin is
No,
one exception, whom
Kapil,
they have
I don't
whom
think
they
we have
beat.
enough sample size for that, and
I
maybe
agree.
we might be generalizing here thoda sa
I
because
agree.
it's just
Sample
one
size.
match against Sochia also, no?
नहीं उसके अलावा भी मतलब टूर्नामेंट्स में देख लेना कि they have generally been like quarters and semis. They've reached quarters and semis, but it's not like they are beating the big named pairs.
They have, they
हाँ
have.
हराया
They've
है
beaten
हराया है
the Malaysian pairs. They've beaten a Korean pair also, from what I remember.
हराया है ऐसा
So,
नहीं है कि नहीं हराया इसीलिए I'm saying कि I
mm,
agree they are the best chance, but yeah, for me I think this is less than 20%. If you have a higher percentage you can give a higher percentage.
no, I actually don't know how much percentage can be given to them. I mean, all I know is that yes, they are on a recovery path towards being a again one of the top four teams. I would say they've
Hmm.
shown enough glimpses during these last 2 months also that they are still one of the top four teams.
Hmm.
Than the Chinese, Chiaso, the Korean pair who have been formidable this entire year.
Hmm.
And outside of these three, I would say it is Satvik Chirag only. So yeah, you have to uh, talk about them. That I don't know. I mean, it's a deadly draw, but it's not like they can't overcome it, and won't be a big surprise if they still come out of a of these world championship with a medal.
Yeah, hopefully they can, but yeah, I just think it's still a little too early for them. They are not at their
It
best
might
and
be,
they
yeah.
they need more time. They're not at the best yet.
Yeah. Could
ठीक
have
है.
been a better draw for sure.
You want to give a name here? Men's doubles में?
I don't know. I'll go with the Koreans only, maybe.
Okay, let me just see. I have to pick a name, right?
So the Koreans have been, so out of the four Super 1000, I
Hmm.
think they've won three of them, from what I remember.
But
Maybe someone can verify in the chat.
that can also mean fatigue though. Hmm.
Do Koreans ever fatigue?
Yeah,
I mean,
this
they
is.
they have been going about this kind of business for many years, right? They don't
Hmm.
withdraw, they don't skip any tournaments, yet they
Yeah,
are
this
able
is.
to play in the World Championship and all these major
Hmm.
events.
Yeah, I'm looking at the seeds. I don't feel like. ठीक है मतलब. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. This one is actually tight. It can go anywhere. I mean, just for random sake, I'll actually say Liang and Wang, but yeah, I'm not sure on this one.
Okay, fair enough.
ठीक है. अगले में चले.
अगले में
कुछ
I
खास
did
तो
not
है
put
नहीं.
anything in the slide because
मतलब
women's doubles,
कोई है.
Teresa and Gayatri have withdrawn, and it's a little irritating actually. We don't even know. There's not a lot of coverage also that what's going on with them, why have they withdrawn. So yeah, nobody knows what's going on there.
So इंडियंस में कोई नहीं है, राइट. uh,
Women's doubles में है, there
प्रिया,
are a couple
श्रुति
of pairs
मिश्रा.
I think, but like, I mean, nothing much to read into it, honestly.
आई मीन
It's
ये
like
तो.
one of there are always these two women's doubles players who would always feature in World Championship and then
द
exit
पांडा.
from the very first round.
ये तो यार फर्स्ट राउंड वाला ही है. आई मीन जस्ट साइड नोट. I think I saw Shruti Mishra on my flight from Bombay to Chennai. I'm not sure, but there was a female there with a racket cover, which could be a badminton or a tennis racket, looking like a player. And I googled her image, and it looked like maybe it could be her, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I mean, you took her image and Googled it, or were you able to recognize
Nee, so I
someone
saw
called
her and I
Shruti
thought.
Mishra?
Nee, so I saw her, and obviously she had the badminton racket or the tennis racket with her, and she was dressed in like the track suit kind of thing. जो लग रहा था कि this could be, not just a recreation player, but she could be a proper player. And मेरे को देख के लग रहा था कि इसको देखा है कहीं पे टीवी पे. So I was trying to remember कि who she could be. And
Okay.
my first instinct was maybe Tanvi Sharma. So I googled Tanvi Sharma. I'm like, okay, this is not her. And then my second instinct was maybe Shruti Mishra. So
No, but where have you seen her on TV also, Shruti
so
Mishra?
I was
I mean,
remember.
I wouldn't ever recognize her.
Yeah, so
कौन है मतलब
I'll tell
कैसी
you,
दिखती है?
I was remembering her from Thomas Cup win celebrations. Thomas Cup जीतने के बाद when all the women came to congratulate the men,
Hmm.
मेरे को वो इमेज याद आ रही थी.
Okay.
तो हाँ, तो उधर से I googled Shruti Mishra and I thought it could be her, but yeah, I don't know. And I am not the kind of guy to go and talk, especially in a flight.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Anyways,
ठीक है. So
next.
yeah, anything on women's doubles?
वुमेन्स
Like
डबल्स में तो यार कुछ
nothing
है
to
नहीं
add
है.
from my side.
Yeah, there's no point even picking because we don't follow it much. Uh,
Hmm.
क्योंकि we don't have much representation there. मिक्स में कौन
Yeah,
ध्रुव और
but
तनिषा है.
if someone knows in the chat what's going on with Teresa and Gayatri, please let us know as well. 'Cause there's very minimal I've heard about them, and there's not much coverage also. Pura, I mean, throughout this year they haven't been there. Like no results as such, no deep runs in any of the tournaments. I don't know what's going on.
They were the only ones active in 2024, right after Paris. वरना पेरिस के बाद
Yeah,
बाकी सब खाली हो गया था.
yeah, there
Because they
was
missed Paris,
signs
but
of.
one of the reasons was they
Hmm,
missed Paris, right? So that's why they were active. Yeah, I mean, you
yeah,
have to assume that somebody must be injured. One of them have to be injured.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Same
Like,
story in mixed doubles also. I mean, I
yeah,
do
similar.
see Tanisha and Dhruv being featured, but yeah,
There's
it's
also the Rohan Kapoor and Shivani Gadde. I don't know और
yeah,
कोई है कि नहीं है.
they're seeded also. Maybe
Just
they,
about 16 seed.
yeah, just about.
I mean, draw wise, it's actually fine. They can, already pass the
Yeah,
first
it's
round
actually a good draw.
by Mila, so they should be able to get through a second round here. Uh,
Yeah,
then,
even the Hong Kong
yeah,
pair is it's not bad actually.
beatable, yeah.
Beatable very much.
Yeah, draw wise, you can't complain here, but yeah, I think
Yeah,
eventually they'll go down
let's
in
see.
the third round. If they can get to the quarters, great. But
Mm,
I hope they'll come through this second round. But yeah, I don't see them getting past the third round.
true.
Yeah, or the Rohan Kapoor Shivani Gadde even पहला round तो हो जाए. I think these are Macau, right? This is a Macau flag. Yeah. तो
Yeah,
पहला
it's a
round तो
Macau flag.
हाँ तो पहला round तो then they should come through.
It's actually surprising and also shows that I haven't been able to follow a lot of badminton. I didn't even know Rutvika has moved to the doubles events now. I mean,
Yeah, it's
she used to be a proper singles players
proper top
and was
singles
always
player.
a feature in Uber Cup, etc. And at some point of time, I think third best also after Saina and Sindhu for
Yeah,
us.
yeah. In fact, we were assuming that she is guaranteed to be the next Saina slash Sindhu.
Come on,
Never.
guaranteed कुछ
नहीं
भी
नहीं
नहीं था ऐसे.
she beat quite a few top players at that point. जब वो third चल रही थी,
Top players from what
yeah, top
international
हाँ
level?
हाँ top 10 players she had beaten. Record जाके देख.
Seriously.
Not too many, but दो तीन चार लोगों को हराया उसने. At that point of time,
Okay.
maybe in PBL, maybe in other places, but PBL चालू हुआ था तब I think when the first PBL came, at that point she was like at the top of her powers. And from what I have heard, again I don't know, but from what I have heard, her issue was always that she just never, she just had constant fitness and injury issues. So injuries होती रही and they never ended, and eventually maybe singles was a little too much and she finally moved to doubles, which is a little more easier on the body as compared to singles. At least that's what I've heard, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see her highest rank as 49 Kapil actually in women's singles.
हाँ तो रैंक नहीं गया होगा लेकिन मैचअप्स में हराया है. टॉप 10 में दो तीन प्लेयर्स को हराया है
Okay,
एटलीस्ट.
maybe. Yeah,
Maybe she might
ठीक
have
है
beaten
but
them in the PBL. I'm not saying कि she might beat them in the tour. Maybe PBL में ही होगा,
mm-hmm.
where which doesn't affect ranking, but हराया था, and at that point a lot of people were thinking कि she is almost surely the next Saina slash Sindhu, but yeah, didn't happen
Mm-hmm.
for them.
Yeah, all right.
चलो, so badminton done. कुछ और बोलना है?
Yeah.
Closing thoughts? Any
No, I
realistic
mean,
hopes?
not, no realistic hopes actually. Yeah, agree with you. I mean, how you started off talking about badminton, right? This is the lowest stage that India has seen itself in terms of the uh, the level at which the badminton players have been operating. So yeah, not much hopes, but we'll have to see how next year's will be very crucial. Basically,
Hmm.
starting 2026.
Building up to
This
Asian
year
Games
is
essentially.
exactly Asian Games, and then again next year
Hmm.
the World Championship is in India. Let's not forget.
Yeah, that's
So
a huge one.
it'll be a crucial year next year, but this year just went down the drain a little.
ठीक है. वैसे there is a side question if you want to take just जल्दी से 2 मिनट में.
Hmm.
Testing of this 3 into 15 scoring system. तूने कुछ देखा है? Have you seen anything?
I haven't seen it, but in my opinion, I don't think they should be changing it. It's still it's okay. I mean, the game is still fast paced. On an average, it's 20 to 30 minutes per match. I don't think it is broken for them to repair it.
20 to
But yeah,
30
they
मिनट्स में कौन सा मैच खत्म होता है यार? पर गेम बोल रहा है कि पर मैच?
average match, all things considered, all
20 में
formats considered,
20 से 30 मिनट में कौन सा मैच खत्म होता है यार बैडमिंटन का?
30
I-
minute ही होगा average.
नहीं
I
नहीं
mean, if
यार,
you see,
40 मिनट्स तो एटलीस्ट जाता है, वो भी इफ इट एंड्स इन 2 गेम्स. इफ इट
चल
गोस टू 3 गेम्स तब
32
तो नहीं, if it
30 to 40 minutes लगा ले, because
नहीं, but that's
usually
also only
15.
a 2 game match, right? If it goes to 3 games, तब तो it's going to an hour.
I mean, if you consider the early rounds also, the average does come down, right?
But then
There are initial rounds also and stuff like that. So
I
30
get
to
it.
40 minutes,
I doubt it. I think average must be higher. क्योंकि फिर लंबे matches go 1.5 hours also, right?
1.5 hours तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं होता.
मतलब चल
It's very
75
rare
minutes.
in
Okay,
singles
yeah.
at least.
90 minutes is
कि
pretty rare, but 75 minutes at least.
I mean 60 के beyond बहुत rarely जाते हैं matches. If it's a
Right.
3 game match, it will go beyond 60. That too very rarely. But even for a 3 game match, it usually comes down to, I mean, below 60 only.
Yeah,
So
ठीक है. I
on an
get it.
average, you can consider 15 to 20 minutes is the average game,
Yeah,
average minutes
maybe.
per game.
I would say more 20 minutes, but ठीक है. But yeah,
Hmm.
but honestly, I don't mind trying a 3 x 15. I mean, I haven't seen anything on it, but I don't mind shortening the games. Honestly, मुझे लगता है कि the first half of games can sometimes be a little bit boring. Uh, you really start getting into it once the game reaches like 12 all 13 all. उसके पहले if one person gets a good lead, then okay, then it's like there's a narrative कि okay, can there be a comeback or something. लेकिन जब 5 all 6 all 7 all चल रहा है, at that point you're kind of waiting के let's get to 12 all 13 all, फिर वहाँ पे देखने की क्या होता है. So from that
Hmm.
perspective, I don't mind honestly shortening the games a bit. And I definitely hate this thing in badminton of the referees constantly telling players ke jaldi khelo, players ignoring and finding time ways to waste time, and then referees not doing anything, and it the entire thing doesn't go. In fact, telling them play fast gives them more rest. Matlab, I am surprised that badminton hasn't found a solution to
ठीक
this
है, that's
problem.
a cultural thing. वो every sport develops these small little nuances, right?
But
So
बहुत
I
time
mean,
से
I
चल
don't
रहा है
mind
ये.
that.
नहीं, but
ठीक है,
बहुत, I
तो
mean, there's a simple
it's not a
solution, right?
problem as such, right?
I think it is because I don't like, that it creates unnecessary sort of, controversy and detracts from the actual game. कि ये जल्दी खेल रहा है, ये लेट खेल रहा है, ये वो whatever.
कुछ भी मतलब कपिल, क्या कंट्रोवर्सी हुई है इसकी वजह से?
मतलब कंट्रोवर्सी बड़ी नहीं हुई है, लेकिन होती है थोड़ी थोड़ी, राइट? कि इट्स लाइक वो जल्दी खेल रहा था, ये रेफरी इज नॉट डूइंग, कमेंटेटर्स आर टॉकिंग अबाउट रेफरी नॉट कीपिंग द पेस ऑफ प्ले राइट एंड एवरीथिंग. यू डोंट नीड
Hmm.
ऑल दैट. मतलब मुझे हमेशा इसमें टीटी का तरीका अच्छा लगता है. टीटी हैज दिस
I
रूल
know, I
वेयर.
know that's where you're coming from. I could sense that. But yeah, I don't agree to that. TT is super fast paced. Like it becomes a little more unpredictable. Obviously, the Chinese factor is there, but I don't like it so fast paced also. There has to be
नहीं नहीं
some.
नहीं नहीं, डू यू नो विच टीटी रूल आई वाज सेइंग अबाउट?
No, I thought that you're talking in general that like TT recently changed certain rules to become fast paced. Earlier, it
हाँ, नहीं
wasn't
नहीं
this fast.
नहीं नहीं, हाँ, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट. टीटी का द अदर रूल आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट इज टीटी हैज दिस रूल वेयर आफ्टर 6 points the players get like a quick towel down. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not like timed or anything. You can take only 30 seconds or 1 minute or whatever. But generally the idea is 6 point खेला, you go to your table, towel उठाओ, मुंह पहुंचो, वापस आ जाओ in like
Mm-hmm.
10-15 seconds. So I think like badminton could have easily can easily do something like this, where it's like after let's say 7 points or 8 points, just let the players go off, travel down and come back. So rather than them trying to go and travel down every point, you have that barrier कि okay, 6 point के बाद you'll go and get to do that. You don't need to go that after every point, which is what they essentially try to do these days. But ठीक है.
Okay. ठीक है. I mean it's a personal thing. I think I don't
हाँ,
mind doing that. Rather मेरे को कभी इतना notice भी नहीं हुआ that it is disrupting the game. Maybe it's very much a part of the game, so I've also
maybe, हाँ.
gotten used to it, or maybe other fans also have gotten used to it. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely irritates me. मतलब मुझे illogical लगता है, but okay.
ठीक है.
चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं.
Cool. Yeah, I think we can go to the next sport.
So wrestling, you're starting off with the women, right? I think तूने slide अच्छा men की भी है बाद में.
हम्म.
चलो तो वुमेन में तू ही स्टार्ट कर. यू
हाँ,
आर यू आर
women में.
looking very highly on the women these days from personal conversations with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I got the chance to visit the recently held world wrestling trials. Basically, I wanted to go it for specifically for women's, and I think based on what we also discussed, Kapil, like currently I'm as a whole, if you look at the event, I'm pretty bullish on how the women's wrestling ecosystem is shaping up for us, right from the grassroots till the elite level. I know we don't have a lot to show at the elite level at the moment, but the way things are shaping up systematically, I think we are in a very, very good position. And all sports considered, I would consider women's wrestling as one of the highest performing or one of the most sorted sport for us. And I have all my reasons. Okay. And I mean, with this LA cycle also, it'll become more clearer that why what I meant by that. Starting with these world championship trials only, I mean, you can see here effectively majority of the team is 18, 19, 20, and they're going to represent us in senior world championship, and all of these are coming from some good laurels from their junior world tournaments. And I know you are not very gungo or very you don't consider junior tournaments super critical or don't give a lot of significance on that. But at the moment, for each category at junior level, I think the domestic competition is very, very high. And you don't know, except for a couple of them, let's say Antim or Priya, who stand out and are already, sort of given for us that okay, they'll continue to represent these two categories for a longish time. Across all the categories, the competition at domestic level is very, very high. And considering these all of these girls are still 18, 19, and are ready to participate at world senior level, ready to debut. Some of them are also bringing world medals at continental level. So that ways, I think the fundamentals and foundation is pretty much there. Now comes the most critical part, that how will their transition from junior to senior happen. The long story short, what I mean is the previous wrestlers that we've had, your likes of Vinesh, Sakshi, Babita, and some others, we were still dependent on a lot of individual brilliance. That these there were a few wrestlers who were very skillful, had that champion's aura, and were able to perform at international level. Now we are getting all of these women, all of these girls coming up in bulk and having the right foundation and performing at the international level. So that way, systematically, the sport is in a very, very good shape. And I think we'll start getting the outcomes of all of it, very soon. So yeah, that's at the macro level. But yeah, we'll talk about each of these. We can talk about each of these. But yeah, happy to know what do you think or how do you perceive it.
No, so I mean, I agree in general. मतलब, I don't think it's just a recent thing. मतलब, women's wrestling has been on the up since quite a while. I would say that. Even
So okay, let's define it. When you say have been up on the up, are you talking just at the elite level, or are you talking from a holistic standpoint, right from junior till mid level, as well as then at the senior level also?
I mean, primarily at the elite level. I think junior level may, if you look at wrestling, I think juniors may we have always won medals. It's not nothing that new. At least that's the feeling
We've
I get.
always so you mean under 17, under 20? We've been having world
No,
champions
no, we
coming
have
out in
improved.
women's
So
wrestling
that's why I
in
said
under
medals,
17
right?
and.
That's why I said won medals. We have not
Hmm.
won championships. We generally don't win the gold, but we have been winning medals, which is now translating into like golds, and there were team titles as well. But at the same time, फिर वो आ ही जाता है
There
कि
were never team titles, Kapil.
नहीं
The
नहीं I said
team
recently
titles
I'm
have.
saying नहीं नहीं I'm saying हाँ
Ah,
recently अब टीम टाइटल्स भी आने लगे हैं एंड दैट इज गुड. बट या वो थोड़ा बहुत ऑब्वियसली देयर इज दैट डाउट ऑफ पोस्ट ओलंपिक ईयर के हाउ द पोस्ट ओलंपिक ईयर will that carry on later as well. But yeah, ठीक है, I will agree with you that women's wrestling has been coming up. It has been coming up in the past as well. Even in the past, if you look at, let's say
That's
the
what I mean. I want to make you like,
say
how is
कि
it,
it's
how
much better
has it
now than
coming
it
up?
was.
Yeah, in
Hmm.
the past, who has won the junior medals? Who has won the team titles? I want to know that, because in from what I know, before 3 to 4 years before that,
Hmm.
even at the junior level, we had very rare medals at world level. So that's what I mean. It is surprising that we've
I
been
mean, Ritu
winning
Fogart won a
junior
lot,
medals
right?
since.
Ritu Fogart won a lot, जितना मुझे याद है.
Ritu
हाँ.
Fogart won a lot of junior medals, is what you're saying.
I had seen a tweet, I remember, from Vinay Sivach that Ritu Fogart is the most accomplished Indian wrestler in junior tournaments. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Antim was the first one to win a under 20 gold
गोल्ड्स
medal
नहीं आ
for
रहे थे.
us. So,
गोल्ड्स नहीं आ रहे थे. दैट आई एम अग्रीइंग कंप्लीटली.
chalo ठीक
गोल्ड्स
है.
नहीं आ. हाँ.
Even if they were winning, I think it was very rare
आई
at
थिंक
under
रितिका
17
हुडा
and
वन,
under
राइट.
20.
रितिका हुडा
Ritika
वन.
Huda, you would consider from the recent lot. No, what
हाँ
are you
तो
talking
नहीं
about?
तो
She
वो तो
won
मैं.
under 23 gold. That too at under 23. It wasn't she won it
या
at under 17 or under 20.
नहीं तो मैं वही बोल रहा था कि इवन इफ यू जस्ट लुक एट द लास्ट साइकिल में भी if you look at the elite level, we have had wrestlers like Anshu coming up, we have had Antim coming up, we have had this Sonam was doing very well at one point. उसके बाद even Nisha Daya came back from a ban and did very well. So we had what, five women wrestlers qualified to Paris, I think so. And in
Yeah.
general, five wrestlers में most of those cases, not all of them, but most of those cases were like where they had a close competitor at home. जैसे रितिका had a Priya Malik, Antim had a Vinesh. Okay, but ठीक है, direct match नहीं हुआ, but Antim had a Vinesh. Vinesh at 50 didn't have anybody close to her, but you had
Hmm.
close 62 में निशा दहिया के नीचे कौन था, I don't remember, but 62 में I think Manisha only went, right? 62 में Manisha के नीचे you had Sonam and you had uh, अच्छा नहीं, 62 में, सॉरी,
Are
62
Baba,
में.
but
हाँ,
Anshu,
62 में
Sonam,
कोई
all
नहीं.
of these are also 23, 24 only, right?
हाँ तो मैं वही तो
So I
बोल रहा हूँ
think we
ना
are
कि
talking the same thing. I
या
think
दैट्स
in
व्हाट आई एम
terms of
सेइंग. मैं
timeline,
वही बोल रहा हूँ कि वी आर टॉकिंग द सेम थिंग. इफ यू लेट मी कंप्लीट, कि इट हैज बीन हैपनिंग एंड इट्स बीन हैपनिंग फॉर लाइक 4-5 years, which I agree. The women's wrestling has been coming up, and if you compare it, especially with men's wrestling में it has been the individual names, जबकि women's wrestling में there has been a more of a depth. So I will agree with that. Yeah, the only thing which is left, which we have discussed, which you also mentioned, is that transition to the senior level, because eventually that's not happened. I mean, there were Antim has promised a lot, Anshu promised a lot, and they even have world championship medals to their names. But eventually, ekdam Olympics, obviously, we know what happened, and they should do well in this world championship again. But एकदम बड़े इवेंट पे ट्रांसलेशन, मतलब बड़ा इवेंट इवेंचुअली रेसलिंग में ओलंपिक्स ही हो जाता है, इफ यू डोंट काउंट द वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप, तो
so
ओलंपिक्स पे
I
एटलीस्ट
think
ट्रांसलेशन नहीं हुआ है.
two things here, Kapil. One is, if you say 4, 5 years, say we've been performing at the junior level, that I can agree.
हाँ.
In my mind, when you were talking from the past, I had taken it even before, Tokyo cycle, or maybe from Rio, if you factor in from those times. I think it's been a drastic change in the overall ecosystem.
आई थिंक धीरे
four
धीरे
five
बढ़ा
years
है.
is fine.
आई थिंक धीरे धीरे बढ़ा है, यू कैन से, इवन बिकॉज इवेंचुअली इट्स अ स्मॉल पीरियड, राइट? इवन रियो टू टोक्यो इज अ small period. Obviously we
Yeah,
are much better right now than we were in Rio, but I
exactly.
think there has been steady growth.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, there has been a steady growth.
hmm.
Again, obviously, it has been steady growth. It's not like overnight something, magical has happened. It has been a steady growth. But at the moment, I think we are in a very strong momentum, in the sense that even when there were, likes of Anshus or Sonams coming out in some of the categories, my only point here is, now we have multiples of Anshus and Sonams in most of the categories, till their level at least. That's what my whole point is.
Yeah,
Previously, 4 or 5 years uh, 4 or 5 years ago, we had a few of those. Now we have in bulk. Secondly, one thing that has also changed is at a junior level, if you talk about, let's say, Asian, or for that matter, at world level also, no, Kapil, we were winning medals. Now we are winning those championships. All of these girls are winning those championships, which include the Japanese as well as, some of the other countries, Chinese, Russians, etc. That is significant. So once you win I mean, we saw what wonders it did for Antim and Priya, right? Both of them are classic case here who actually went ahead and won the world titles at junior level, and now stand out clearly and are able to perform at international level. That's what mean. So last two under 17 world championship, not actually last two, but from the last three under 17 world championship, India has actually won the team title in two of those. That too ahead of Japan, which does talk a lot in terms of how well placed we are at least at least the junior level.
ठीक है.
Yes, of course, it is for us to see how do we transition to the senior level. But right now, the fundamentals are really, really strong, and with the right mix of coaching and the right support system that they have around them, I think some of them should be able to pop up into world class wrestlers. Is what I am hoping for.
ठीक है. I mean, let's see. I mean, मेरे लिए again the toughest part is always the transition, especially because I always have doubts over the ages as well. कि how many of the ages are right and how many of the ages are, you know, a little
Yeah,
dicey.
that's a totally different tangent of conversation. I know. I mean, can't discount that for sure.
नहीं,
But
but it is
even
not a
in that
tangent.
transition,
मतलब problem वही है, right? कि when you talk about under 17 results, the first thing that comes to my mind always is, okay, is it actual under 17? Because if it's not, then those results mean nothing, and we know only
yeah, but
when the transition
is
happens.
that a problem? Is that a problem of recent times? It's not.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been
not a
there
problem with
since
recent
always,
time.
right?
Yeah, it's been there
So
since
that
always.
fact,
That I'll agree.
so that factor has been a fixed factor. It hasn't changed for us.
हाँ, वो ठीक है, but वही बात है कि ट्रांजिशन होना चाहिए. So let's see. But yeah, I will agree with you that there are hopes definitely from women's wrestling. And but yeah, we'll see. I'm not at that level where I'm not as confident as you that this will definitely happen. I'm like, I
No,
want to
I'm
see the
not saying
transition.
will. No, no, I'm not saying it will happen. All I'm saying is, when previously we used to have 4 or 5 wrestlers, and we used to hope that out of those 4 or 5 wrestlers there would be a Vinesh or a Sakshi which will pop up. Right now, instead of those 4 or 5 wrestlers, we have 10, 12 wrestlers, and those Vinesh and Sakshi have chances of Vinesh or Sakshi coming up have multi-folded now. That's
ठीक
what
है,
I'm saying.
ठीक है, देखते हैं. By the way, you want to talk about the elephant in the room? That
Ritika Hooda, you mean?
yeah, I mean, she for me at least she was the best hope.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you
Yeah,
have a
she would
different
have been.
opinion. And even the
No, no,
recent
I
performance मैंने
agree.
देखा था was
Even
really good.
ahead of Antim.
Yeah, because Antim का problem यही है, right? Antim was extremely good. She was for me our best hope going into Paris, even ahead of Vinesh. Okay, even ahead of everybody else basically.
And she had
Nisha
a good
गई थी.
draw as well.
Yeah, and she had a good draw as well. And then she got absolutely destroyed. It's not even like she lost a match. She lost a first round match to a average Leicester. Let's put it that way. It's not like she
That
faced
was
a
a classic case of what an Olympics can do to, you
maybe.
or
But
an Indian athlete.
that's true. But then you need to get over that, right? I mean, it is not something which she will definitely get over. You hope that she will get over with the experience, and the same thing will not happen again. But
Yeah, I
then,
mean, she's been talking about it.
hmm,
She's owned up to her mistake, and she's been talking about it that हाँ Olympics में
but but
काफी गलतियां की थी.
but mistake फिर वही होती है, right? Mistake होती है कि you lose 5-4. Mistake नहीं होती है कि you lose
No,
10
so
nil.
Kapil, it had more to
हाँ,
do with just her bout. No, I mean,
yeah,
there were things going off the mat also in village, which sort of added up to her. overall performance.
अच्छा, I have
मतलब
not
वो
heard this.
controversy हुई थी ना.
अच्छा, you are saying the
Yeah,
general.
she had given her ID to her sister
ना ना,
who
एक
got
मिनट एक मिनट एक
entered
मिनट.
into
नहीं नहीं,
village.
एक मिनट एक मिनट. All that happened after the bout, huh? That doesn't count. All
I
that
don't
happened.
know. I mean,
अरे नहीं नहीं, this I followed. All that happened after the bout. After the bout, she said कि I was very depressed. I went to the village. Sorry, went to the Olympic village. I went back to the Olympic village. I was very depressed that I had lost, and I also started feeling very sick. And I felt like I just don't want to be here. I just want to go back with my sister to the hotel because the family was staying in the hotel. So there she told her sister कि, in fact, she didn't even go back to the village. She just went back to her sister's hotel at some
hmm.
point after the bout, and she was like, I'm feeling sick as well, and she was very depressed, and she didn't want to go back to the village. So at that point, she gave her ID to the sister and told her कि तू मेरा जाके village से सामान ले आ, and that's it. But all that happened
Hmm.
after the bout. You cannot blame that on that.
Okay, I was under impression that happened before the bout, but clearly, I mean,
What
it
happened
was.
was, I will tell you one thing. What happened was because she lost the way she did, this controversy got blown up in the sense that nobody supported her. मतलब
Hmm.
नॉर्मल के अब वही अगर वो मेडल लेके आई होती और लेट्स से ये सब हुआ होता, द इंडियन एंटायर इको सिस्टम वुड हैव कम इनटू द फोर्स कि क्या हो गया, ऐसा थोड़ी बीमार हो रही थी इसलिए सिस्टर को आईडी दे दिया एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. दे वुड हैव जस्टिफाइड द एक्सप्लेनेशंस. बट बिकॉज शी लॉस्ट द वे शी लॉस्ट, द थिंग केम के वी हैव बीन टोल्ड कि उसको थर्सडे तक वापस भेज दो, एंड वी हैव गॉट हर बैक. देन शी वाज लाइक मैं तो एनीवेज जाने ही वाली थी यार, उसमें क्या तुमने वापस
ठीक है.
भेजा.
Anyways, coming
हाँ वो
back to the
ठीक है.
point, she spoke about there were certain mistakes that she had committed. Maybe she might have been talking about the bout related mistakes also, but then again, it wasn't just ki she was underprepared. Yeah, she wasn't up to that level of the Turkish wrestler to whom she lost, right? Abhi ranking series maybe she had easily beaten her in a very one-sided
मतलब,
bout.
yeah, I
So I
mean,
mean, it was more to do with getting overwhelmed with the entire Olympic.
yeah, maybe.
जो भी
मतलब,
था.
for me, it was the most surprising result of the Olympics.
Yeah, for sure it was. It
And I don't
was
think it
no
was
doubts in
close.
that.
I don't remember कि और कोई था, because you
Mm,
always have sports like shooting where anything can happen, but wrestling is generally a more predictable sport.
yeah.
So yeah, so इसीलिए मतलब अंतिम versus रितिका, which is where we started this debate. तो वहां पे वो अंतिम का वही क्वेश्चन मार्क आ जाता है कि now you don't know, because and she is now in that status, a little bit of that के whatever she does, the question is, okay, will she be able to handle the Olympics, because she couldn't do it last time, and the answer to that we'll get only in LA. We can't get an answer to that before LA, which is a problem.
I don't. I mean, you can't do anything about it, right? All she can do is come back, compete in the world championship, try to win
Yeah,
medals there because she's definitely one of the best in the
yeah,
world. We have seen that.
yeah, that I agree. So but
वो तो
yeah,
एलए का तभी देखा जाएगा एंड आई मीन इट विल डिपेंड ऑन हर हाउ शी मैच्योर्स एज अ रेसलर. A lot of things do change. Consider she does win a couple of medals back to back in world
hopefully, yeah,
championship.
she'll
Confidence is a funny thing, right? it
yeah,
it can do magical things to an athlete. So yeah, I think she's got all the right ingredients. And wahan pe bhi, I mean, even in the trials, she stood out in terms of the way her bouts went. The you know you I mean, how do I put it? Intangibles होते हैं ना कुछ athletes के that
हाँ ठीक
they
है.
they carry some sort of aura.
Hmm.
They stand out from the crowd, etc. You could clearly see that in Antim, and for that matter, Priya Malik also, I would say. And talking about Ritika, I know it was a disastrous news. Fans in general were disappointed, mm, because she was one of the best prospect
Hmm.
for us in world wrestling. Honestly, I don't rate her very high, or I don't see there is a big difference between Ritika and Priya Malik. Okay, I feel we've got a great wrestler in Priya also as a backup to Ritika, and I think she holds a good chance to medal as well in these world championship. Because even when you see the achievements, and even from this year, she stood second in Hungarian ranking, under 23 Asian jeet ke aayi, which she did last year as well. And then I was just reading through her, going through her bouts. I saw one of the bouts against Kennedy Blade. Kennedy Blade, or what was the US wrestler who actually won a silver in 76 kg.
Hmm.
So she had also beaten her in one of the tournaments. So she's got those achievements in her. And I think in trials also, it wasn't that Ritika was always beating Priya. Priya also has wins against Ritika, from what I remember reading, sometime back. So yeah, I think we in Antim and Priya were just 21 and 20 leading the pack in these world championship. So yeah, super exciting. And I've also highlighted three more wrestlers here in orange.
Hmm.
Neha Sangwan, who is the reigning under 17 world champion for us. Jyoti Berwal, again a reigning world under 17 champion, world under 17 as well as world under 20 champion for us. You definitely have to watch out for these two couple.
Hmm.
I might have certain personal biases against in favor of Neha because she comes from the same village as Vinesh. You would remember when Vinesh had come back, she was
Hmm.
being felicitated on the stage, and there was this
Yes.
under 17 world champion who had just come, and she also, handed over a bouquet of sorts
Mhm.
to Vinesh. याद है कुछ news आई थी
नहीं
that
ठीक से
she
ऐसे याद
said
नहीं है,
that.
but okay, I can get it.
So basically, Paris ke baad she won this under 17 world championship, and she credited to Vinesh. She gave the entire credit to Vinesh that she inspired me and all of that, and that's why. But regardless of that, the reason I sort of felt that she was very strong because in her category 59 there was another wrestler called Sarika. Again, multiple world medalist from junior level. I felt she was by far the best wrestler in this entire category. And the moment she came up against Neha, no, in the
Hmm.
final, she stood no chance against her. Like she could not even win a single point, or maybe one. I don't remember exactly, but it was very one-sided in favor of Neha.
ठीक
The
है.
only, again, just to complete it off, I mean, you can see she's only 18, came second in Hungarian ranking, which by the way was a disaster for us. She was against Helen Morales in the final,
Hmm.
and she was pinned in within 30 seconds. So see, that's the level of, that's the difference or the gap that she still needs to bridge. But there were wrestlers from Kyrgyzstan, etc. The regular wrestling countries that she was able to beat. Mongolian ranking, the first international senior tournament for you, and you're winning it. I mean, that you have to give it to her on that, right? And then being a world under 17 champion. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Jyoti Berwal again, great achievements. 68 May, I don't know. Uh, the wrestler who won the trials was Radhika, and that's the bout I had also shared the video with you, right?
Yeah, okay.
Radhika had beaten Nisha Dayya. Okay, so Nisha was making a comeback from her
Uh,
Paris injury,
Beaten
right?
Nisha in an earlier round, just to clarify.
In the very first round,
Hmm.
she faced Nisha and she was able to beat her very comprehensively. And Radhika, by the way, is a Asian silver medalist from 2024.
Hmm.
Okay, so then she won the trials also against Srishti. Although that she won it in the last 10 seconds, I felt Srishti was a much better wrestler. She got poked in the eye and she got a little disrupted, and that's where she was able to, one able, I think एक तो डबल लेग टेक डाउन था एंड फिर गट रेंच करके वो 4-4 कर दिया था, एंड दैट्स हाउ शी वन ऑन क्राइटेरिया.
Hmm.
But I don't know, like initially Radhika's name was there in the list of wrestlers qualified, but all I can see is Srishti everywhere now. So I don't know what's the,
इंजरी होगा और क्या मोस्टली.
maybe she has withdrawn or whatever, but point being, Srishti again, before world championship we will get to see her in the under 20 world championship also. Would be like a good warm up tournament for her. But I felt she was very strong, very very strong for a 68 kg wrestler.
Hmm.
And yes, very promising. And from a long term also, if you see it, couple, we have Nisha, We have Radhika, we have Srishti, all of them equally capable of, participating at World Championship bodes well for us, from a long term standpoint. So whosoever comes out of this slot, no, basically LMA participate करने के लिए, I think it'll be uh, they'll be deserved of it and will have high chances of medal as well. Is how I see.
Okay, I mean, I'll just add some things. First thing about Priya Malik. Okay, so you are saying that she's pretty close to Ritika. I am not convinced simply for the fact that I generally go by international results and Priya Malik doesn't have those international results, but she could be. So if you are saying she's close to Ritika, we'll see. But
Hmm.
I am generally the one who gets convinced only when I see good international results. Anything else doesn't convince me. So that's just me. And wrestling, that's a bit of a problem, right?
No,
Because
that's fair also. I mean, she hasn't got a lot of exposure international senior level, maybe. Unless those results don't come in, you can only sit here and talk.
but wrestling में थोड़ा वो issue भी है, right? Because eventually the big events only one girl can go and represent. So it's like even if the two of them are equally good or close to each other, you can't have a situation like where badminton में both of them will go and play. You only one of them
True.
can go and play. So that is a problem. So yeah, so that is the thing with Priya Malik. She had competed in seniors before Ritika came through. पहले जो I think the wins you are saying कि she has wins over Ritika. I don't know about the timeline of that, but I think she was the sort of the one who everybody was looking to before Ritika came through.
Yeah,
तो
true
उसके
that.
ऊपर पहले limelight थी and then the
That's
limelight
because
moved
she
to Ritika.
won under 17, I think.
So yeah, so that's the point. But then when she did compete in senior, she was pretty disappointing at that point of time.
I don't think she has competed a lot in
Yeah,
seniors.
not lot. एक दो टूर्नामेंट ही होंगे जितने भी होंगे. But जो
Asian
I don't know.
Continental दिख रहा है मेरे को दो. One she won a bronze and one she finished seventh because I think उसमें भी she got injured or something and then you have second place finish in Hungarian.
I think मेरे को seventh वाला ही याद है. Maybe that was a match he got beaten pretty easily. Maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Yeah, could be.
So anyway, so Priya Malik obviously she needs to prove herself. Antim has proven herself, so I'm not challenging there. Priya Malik needs to prove herself. About the other names, okay, the first question which comes to my mind is सबसे पहले तो मेरे को ये बता ये ट्रायल्स मतलब वर दे completely independent in terms of category कि मतलब 59 kg में completely different girls are competing 57 kg में completely different girls are competing
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
the case
So
there.
yeah, it was mutually exclusive.
Hmm.
ऐसा नहीं था कि one was able to compete in multiple categories. वैसी situation नहीं थी. So Neha also, if you see, she typically, I don't know what was the reason of her
Exactly,
competing in
so
59
हाँ so मेरा फर्स्ट
because
क्वेश्चन
she
फिर वही
was.
आता है कि why is she if you are so bullish on her then why is she competing in 59 in the first place. You should be competing in
हाँ, so
57. But ठीक है
we
उसमें the counter
we
point
don't
is
know
कि
the reasons because
हम्म,
she essentially has been a 57 kg wrestler.
हम्म,
ठीक है, all these achievements also that you can see here are from 57 actually. ठीक है, now
so
there could be a lot of reasons for that, no Kapil? Let's say, I don't know, I am just cooking up things here, but let's say two wrestlers are coming from same academy, so the coach would decide that both of them are able to qualify for world championship, so I'll just shift it for them because essentially at the moment, at their age and level, it does not matter a lot whether who is competing in 57 or 59. I'm just trying to put a theory
yeah I
here.
mean मतलब my let's say thought would be that if that is the case and that's very valid a case it's like they're coming from the same academy or the same akhada or whatever, but you would
Hmm.
imagine the superior one would be kept in the Olympic category at that point. But the
I don't agree to that
I don't
because
I
that,
would say the
at
counterpoint
least
to
on the
that is
face of it, it did not seem so. I was also a little surprised because clearly the level of competition overall in 57 kg
hmm,
was pretty low when
as
you
compared
see
to
it or
59.
compared to 59. Yeah, all the best ones were in 59, which is again very surprising.
मतलब there are reasons for this, right? You can guess the reasons for it. Okay, first of all, the big reason is obviously that the Olympics is still 3 years away. That is like the biggest reason. So it's like
Obviously, they're just testing the waters.
so you can move 57 easily. Okay. The second reason, which is the let's say the pessimistic reason is ki the assumption is ki the 59 kg category at the World Championships will be easier because the Olympic wrestlers will be in 57.
Yeah, true that.
So now, if that is the reason why there is more competition in 59, then we have a problem, right? Because we know, okay,
See,
these
all of
girls,
these are reasons only, no, Kapil. There could be a
you
weight
don't know.
related reason also for all that, you
But
know.
then weight related reason is a bigger issue, if you ask me, because eventually she has to move to 57, right?
But
59.
these are growing girls, right? These are just 18 and 19. They'll
So you're saying they'll move to
may or may
62.
not be able to maintain their weight. We don't know those intricacies, right?
But that is all the more reason then we need to wait for to before getting excited for them. These are all negative reasons from my perspective. You need to
No,
wait
but
before
I
getting
mean,
excited for them.
I don't see that you overlook their achievements of what they've done and get into these nitty gritties of, whether they are performing in their actual weight or not. And I don't know, that's just a little pessimistic viewpoint, in my opinion.
But नहीं,
I
because
think
see,
we
I'll tell you, I'll honestly, मतलब ठीक है, right now it's a little different for the simple reason that the Olympics is still 3 years away. Okay, but let's say this was the 2027 World Championship. Okay, if this is the 2027 World Championship, at that point I am looking at 59 kg category as basically the B team of 57, because that's how it works. Because men में it is different. Men में the categories are still pretty far. यहाँ पे these categories, 55 kg, 59 kg, 65 kg, you don't need these categories in women. 53 and
but
57 is a big
why do
enough
we
gap.
need to get into so much of these details, Kapil?
नहीं,
There
because
are a
that's
bunch of
how.
18, 19 years old who are making their international debut, performing for the very first time,
नहीं,
getting
that is
selected in
okay.
world.
That is
Yeah,
okay, but I got into these issues because तूने तीन highlight किए यहाँ पे. तीन में से
we
दो.
don't know we don't
That's
know
okay.
whether
That's
these are
okay.
issues at the first place.
हाँ, that's okay. But I'm saying जो तूने तीन highlight किए हैं, तीन में से दो of them, two of them are competing in non-Olympic categories. For which for me always is a bit of a red flag, but I'm okay in 2025. 2025 में you are doing it, it's still okay. But
Exactly. So even for Jyoti, I mean, she eventually will decide to go for 68 or 76 the way they do in Japan also sometimes, right?
हाँ, because
But
बात वही
see it
है.
this way that again, even if she decides in 76 or 68, eventually it bodes well only for us. The domestic competition is increasing only, even if
Yeah,
you want to see it from an Olympic standpoint. So what's the issue here?
नहीं, issue कोई नहीं है. I'm just raising the question of, because at the end of the day बात तो वही है, right? None of these girls are proven at the senior level. So बात वही है कि now this is another barrier if they are starting off in the non-Olympic category rather than an Olympic category. But ठीक है, it's not a big deal. But मतलब I will start getting excited when they are competing in Olympic categories and winning. That is the point when I start getting excited. But yeah,
Yeah, which
yeah,
is
but
fair.
I agree.
But I think
2025 में I agree, and I know कि वही जैसे I think explainer in the chat has also said that eventually in 2025 it's about winning a medal. Nobody, matlab, you are not gonna get lesser rewards by winning in 59 than in 57. So why not go for the easier category of 59? So that is
yeah,
always
again,
a rather.
that's just an assumption.
Mm.
Also, they might be treating it as a transition for them from junior to senior and a stepping stone for them to actually transition them fully in a senior
हाँ, ठीक है.
category event and having more exposure. But yeah, like I think at the moment, Olympic or non-Olympic category, it does not
Doesn't matter
matter
too much. I agree.
so much. Yeah,
वही 2 साल बाद it matters a lot. Right now, maybe not
of
that much.
course, 2027 it will matter for sure. But tab tak, see again, even the likes of Anshu, Sonam, who have been a little withdrawn because of injury or whatever reasons, they'll also come back, and then like things will start falling in place. We'll also get to know how these girls perform at senior level.
Hmm.
So a lot of things will start
Will
falling
happen.
into
Yeah.
place and we'll have a better visibility of it. But
Hmm.
overall, what I want to say here is, agree, maybe for you the excitement only comes from the senior elite level, but even for you to have a visibility of an athlete at a senior elite level, you need to know the context of where you are coming from as a junior, right? How much promise you've held as a junior, and how much of your pedigree has been in junior. So all of that has to be contextualized, in my opinion,
ठीक है,
not just view at a elite level. So yeah,
ठीक है, that's okay. By the
that
way,
ways
that's
I'm excited.
that's the other story. के lot of known names missing here, right? Anshu, Sonam, Nisha. I mean, Ritika got banned, but
Nisha was there. I mean, she'll
missing,
take her
मतलब
own
missing
time.
from the final team. That's all I'm saying. हाँ, ठीक है.
Because it was her first tournament coming
हाँ,
back from
वो ठीक है.
injury, no?
Injury and Anshu and Sonam haven't come back yet, and ठीक है. That's okay.
Hmm.
Even
Yeah.
there was कौन थी वो सरिता, right? जो 65 में काफी जीतती थी. I think Sarita was her name. 65.
65.
हाँ, क्योंकि 62 was the Asian, 62 was the Olympic category.
Sarita Moore, you mean?
Yeah, I think so. Sarita Moore. I don't think
She was
Sarita Moore.
57,
नहीं,
59
हाँ,
only.
मैं वही बोला. I think Sarita Moore was different. I think 65 में भी एक शायद एक सरिता थी, but I might be remembering wrong. It might be 59.
Hmm.
मतलब she used to be the second in the Olympic category behind either Anshu or Sonam, behind one of them. But maybe I think 59 ही
Anshu,
थी शायद. I think.
Anshu is in 57, Sonam is in 62.
हाँ नहीं तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ ना इसीलिए आई एम सेइंग मे बी सरिता वाज इन 59 ओनली शी यूज्ड टू बी
Ha. I
हाँ
think she
शी
had won a world championship bronze also,
हाँ शी
but
हैड
that
वन
was
सम
again in 59.
या शी हैड वन ओके सो मेरे को 65 याद है बट मे बी इट वाज 59 where the but so
Hmm.
she is also missing so lot of
Yeah.
established names missing and it's definitely a young team so we'll see you want to make a prediction for medals just number or something
No, I am just looking forward to how they perform. And yeah, like if Antim and Priya get a good draw and they're away from Japanese, I think you can expect a medal from these two.
आई थिंक मिला जुला के 3-4 मेडल तो आ जाने चाहिए
वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप है भाई, मजाक
हाँ
थोड़ी ना हो रहा है यहाँ पे।
पोस्ट
तीन
ओलंपिक
चार
या
मेडल ऐसे ही आ जाएंगे।
पोस्ट ओलंपिक या वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप है बट
ओके।
पोस्ट ओलंपिक या वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप है डोंट
नो,
एक्सपेक्ट कि
आई डोंट
एवरीबॉडी
थिंक
इज
सो।
गोना शो अप
I don't think so. I mean, going by the freestyle entries, a lot
नहीं
of
नहीं आई एम सेइंग जस्ट इन
wrestlers are
वुमेन
showing up.
बट आई एम सेइंग जस्ट इन वुमेन
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we don't know
हाँ अच्छा
women
अच्छा
में
दैट वे यू आर
who
सेइंग
all
हाँ
international entries are
हम्म,
there, but men's freestyle की entry list is out, right?
हम्म,
I was just reading through that. Based on that, I
ठीक है
don't
रुकना
think a lot of.
लॉट ऑफ मेडल्स विल कम यू आर सेइंग
For me, it'll be just one or at the max two medals. That's all.
ठीक है आई थिंक आई एम होपिंग फॉर 3 ईयर आई थिंक 3 आ सकते हैं इन जस्ट इन
Okay.
द वुमेन आई एम नॉट इवन टॉकिंग अबाउट द मेन
So for Tapasya and Srishti and Neha all as well, I think. By the way, you can also follow her in under 20. So they're participating in under 20 as well. Neha, I'm not sure, but Tapasya and Srishti are going to be there in under 20, which is I think starting next week.
ओके ठीक है वांट टू मूव टू द मेन
Yeah, let's go.
I think, yeah, men में by the way, 74 का name had changed. I had seen Jaydeep is injured, so
Ha, he withdrew. Yeah.
someone else is coming.
Who's participating now? Vikas or something? No?
Yeah, I think so. नाम मुझे भी याद नहीं है, but yeah. But anyways, men में obviously the hopes are much lower. I will agree with that. Which you're saying that the women are coming, and yeah, men में I think we can easily come empty-handed. Obviously, Aman Sehrawat is our best hope, and hopefully, he's grown in confidence after the Olympics. उसके बियॉन्ड तो आई थिंक थोड़ा मुश्किल ही है मे बी दीपक पुनिया इन 92 बिकॉज इज competing in 92 as opposed to 86 but yeah I don't have much hope beyond Aman and possibly Deepak
What are you saying? Nothing from Sujit.
no not convinced on Sujit he has to show me
Dude,
something
he's the best one we have in freestyle at the moment.
ठीक है let's see not convinced
So he's coming off. एक second, I'm just opening his profile. So he's coming off winning the Hungarian ranking, okay, which was
hmm.
in July.
Okay.
last month,
Mm.
and there he was able to beat Tevanyan. You would have heard his name, Armenian, who is
Yeah.
the former world championship medalist.
Mm. But he's, I
He
think, old.
won.
Tevanian, I don't know how young he is,
He's
right? I
been
think,
around. He's been around for
yeah,
a while.
I think we might be
Uh,
getting old.
the very first match was against Islam Dudaev, the reigning Paris Olympic bronze medalist. All right, who's a
Okay.
Russian turned into
Okay.
Albanian.
Okay.
Then there is a win against
Wait, wait. So,
Azerbaijan.
so he beat Islam today, or lost and then get a chance?
Yes, beat very
Okay.
comprehensively 11-0.
Okay.
Okay.
Impressive.
And that too, again, he was able to win under 23 Asian Championship.
Mm.
And there again, I see a couple of wins against Uzbeki with Jalolov, which is again a good wrestler.
Mhm.
So I think clearly he's even a better proposition for us ahead of Aman as well as how I would see him.
Okay.
And like even for Sujit before Paris, yeah, he did took multiple chances to qualify, but again, मतलब थोड़ा तो गड़बड़ ही हुआ ना. We don't know how he would have performed in Paris, but he would have qualified had that flight delay और वो flooding वाला fiasco जो हो गया था दुबई
I
में, they
mean,
got stuck etc.
बाद में एक चांस और था, बट ठीक है.
वो लास्ट चांस में ही तो हुआ था ना,
नहीं नहीं, वो एशियन था, उसके
या
बाद एक
वो
वर्ल्ड,
सेकंड
एक
लास्ट
वर्ल्ड,
में.
या एक वर्ल्ड क्वालिफायर और था बाद.
अच्छा, एशियन में वो स्टक हो गए थे एंड देन ही कुडंट क्वालिफाई इन द वर्ल्ड.
Yeah, so you can argue that maybe the Asian might have been easier. That way you can argue, but there was another
Hmm.
qualifier left.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, going by his present year, no, 2025, I
Okay.
think he's clearly our best hope in men's freestyle,
Yeah,
especially
okay.
the Hungarian ranking. And usi ke baad to there were a couple of articles as well on him. There was a video interview which Sports Star Hindu Group did. I think you should watch that because, yeah, like he's not performing at Bajrang's level at the moment, but yeah, clearly he's the next. So what Aman was to Ravi, right? He's
Hmm.
presently that to Bajrang.
ठीक है, देखते हैं. I mean, the name obviously we are hearing since the protest times, right? Where he was at the top of the list, who wanted a trial against Bajrang, and then I remember कि trial में फिर domestic में ही I think there was another guy, name starting with V, who had eventually beaten him. But yeah, ठीक है, if
I
you're.
don't know that, but
Hmm,
he's been clearly India's best outside of Bajrang.
hmm.
He's been India's best in this category for sure.
ठीक है,
Last
देख
2 years.
ठीक है, देखते हैं. I mean, I'm not convinced yet, but okay, I didn't know about the ranking series results which you're telling me. So that definitely shows some promise. So you can hope there. But yeah, 65 kg is also, very tough category. It's not an
Yeah,
easy
it's
category.
fully
It's
stacked
a
up
stacked up
internationally
category.
also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
from that perspective, Vishal Kalimanan, see, uh, uh, Chir Ponseri, the person in the chat pointing out, tough to pronounce that name. But yeah, Vishal Kalimanan. So he lost eventually to Vishal Kalimanan in one of those trials where the winner was supposed to take on Bajrang and whatever. So I think that's why Vishal Kalimanan went to the World Championships just before Paris. Paris के पहले का जो World Championship हुआ था 2023 में, Sujit lost in the trials. But yeah, let's see. ठीक है, so at least चलो you have given me some hope about Sujit. Uh,
Yeah.
there is
Yeah, I think
promise there.
he's better proposition than Aman because Aman be like I
अमन
don't
का
know,
तो
he's
हाँ, I've said मतलब अमन has to improve from what he was last. Okay, he might have won the bronze medal at the Olympics, but I
which
mean,
was down to good draws as
yeah,
well.
yeah. I mean, I have been open about it that a lot of times we say that the luck goes against us in the Olympics. Aman was definitely a bit lucky there, with the draw and with the injuries or the tough weight cuts of the opponents. Uh,
True.
so I mean, there was this one guy, I think Iranian guy, who eventually pulled out, and there was another guy, Akbarov, I think his name was. I don't remember the name. Zalim Akbarov or something.
Yeah, he
Some,
had a bad weight cut.
yeah, Albanian, I
तभी
think,
वो
right? He's
जीता.
a Russian moved to Albania or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he definitely had a horrible weight cut, but who should have beaten Aman there. So Aman definitely used his opportunity well, and you hope that the confidence of the Olympics can do him well, and he can shine here. So that is the hope. But dekhte hain. I mean, again, won't be surprised at all if this is medalless because men's freestyle में competition is also much more uh,
Mm-hmm.
than women.
Yeah, true that. True that. मतलब उसका वही है. We need to see how it's a build-up situation for him. He literally, it's his second tournament after coming back from Paris, and yeah, we'll have to see where his level is currently. इसमें Mongolian ranking maybe did not do that great. Lost to a wrestler in semi-final, not semi-final, but this was final actually. Yeah,
ठीक है. And so
no, it's a bronze. Sorry, my bad. Must have been. I don't know. थोड़ा अजीब
ठीक है,
है
decent,
ये
right? Not
UWP.
too good, not too bad. Basically, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just a sample size of one tournament we are talking about here. Three matches, three bouts. He was able to win two, lost one closely. I think this is a American wrestler from what I remember, and next to Spencer Lee. But Spencer Lee is going to be there in the worlds, so yeah, we'll have to see that.
ठीक है. So, are you expecting a medal here?
I don't think so. No,
Yeah,
too soon.
same thing.
But
What?
yeah, like if we get a good draw from Sujit for Sujit, then maybe I do expect a medal from him. Although
So,
Aman ke case mein one thing have to say that he'll be seeded most likely because I can
yeah,
see his ranking is 4.
yeah.
So
ये तो मुझे
maybe he
याद है.
avoids the best three wrestlers in the category.
I mean, from what I remember, the way I don't know if they've changed it, but ये wrestling rankings earlier, what they used to do कि Olympics के बाद they just used to reset. कि Olympics के बाद whoever won the gold is number one, whoever won the silver is number two, and whoever won the bronzes are like either they
वो तो
used to give
काफी
three
टाइम
and
से
four.
चेंज कर दिया ना अब.
कर दिया क्या?
सिस्टमैटिक कर दिया अब तो.
नहीं नहीं मतलब दे
अभी तो
स्टार्ट नहीं नहीं दे स्टार्ट फ्रॉम देयर और उसके बाद रैंकिंग सीरीज दे लैड. सो आई थिंक स्टार्टिंग
hmm,
पॉइंट ओलंपिक्स के बाद दे रीसेट. ओलंपिक्स के पहले जो भी
now
था
they haven't.
दे हैवंट डन दैट दिस टाइम.
That's why he's ranked 4. No, there is no other reason.
नो बिकॉज ही इज रैंक्ड 4 बिकॉज ही इज ओलंपिक्स ब्रॉन्ज मेडलिस्ट.
हाँ, सो रीसेट नहीं किया ना.
कर दिया ना. अच्छा नहीं, व्हेन आई से रीसेट आई मीन ओलंपिक्स खत्म हुआ ना. ओलंपिक्स खत्म होने के बाद योर गोल्ड मेडल विल बी नंबर वन, योर सिल्वर मेडल विल बी नंबर टू, ब्रॉन्ज विल बी नंबर थ्री एंड फोर. ओके. पहले का सब कुछ भूल गए. सो वो ओलंपिक्स के बाद का रैंकिंग बन गया. सो दिस इज लाइक लेट्स से योर सितंबर 2024 रैंकिंग. देन दो दो रैंकिंग सीरीज हुई है, दोज विल गेट एडेड ऑन. बट
Hmm.
एवरीथिंग बिफोर ओलंपिक्स इज एलिमिनेटेड. दैट्स व्हाट आई मीन बाय रीसेट.
ओके. आई थिंक वो ईयरली टाइमलाइन है, लाइक 12 मंथ्स या कुछ तो है. एग्जैक्टली मेरे को भी नहीं
हाँ नहीं
पता.
मुझे भी नहीं पता बट पहले
बट
तो ऐसा होता था, मैंने देखा है कि इवन आफ्टर द रैंकिंग सीरीज वो स्टार्टेड कि ओलंपिक्स होते से ही ओलंपिक्स के पहले का एवरीथिंग इज फॉरगॉटन. तो ठीक है, देखते हैं. आई थिंक ग्रेको में तो कुछ बात करने का है नहीं.
बाय द वे, जस्ट बिफोर वी कंप्लीट दिस रेसलिंग, हाँ, आई एग्री, ग्रेको में इवन आई
मतलब
डोंट हैव
इवन द
विजिबिलिटी
वन
या.
नेम व्हिच वी कीप हियरिंग, सुनील कुमार इज नॉट देयर. तो
Yeah, I don't know about him, and also don't know anything about these Greco-Roman wrestlers. I wanted to ask, do you know anything about what's going on with Ravi? Like,
haven't
I
heard.
would have imagined that he had his surgery before Paris, and to that also knee surgery हुआ था ना, I think. To
Hmm.
that also now it's been 1 full year that we have completed. But what's going on with him? We haven't heard of him anything
I mean
at a domestic level, national championship trials, nothing.
yeah, I mean I wouldn't be surprised if he's done, honestly.
Hmm.
Especially because of वो भी issue है ना कि he now has competition from Aman. तो वो वाला भी issue आ जाता है.
If he competes at 57, that is.
अदरवाइज 65 जाना पड़ेगा. यूएस सुजीत इज ऑल्सो डूइंग वेरी वेल. दोनों जगह ही कंपटीशन है.
Yeah, true that. I mean, gradual progression तो वही होना था because again, he was also one of those wrestlers who was finding it very, very difficult
Yeah, yeah.
in 57 for weight cut.
He's definitely a natural 61. He's not a natural 57.
He's
Uh,
27 at the moment. So yeah, age is
but
by
वो
his
तो
side.
नहीं, but वो तो फिर वो वाली बात है ना. How did the surgery go? How is he feeling after surgery? And then the motivation also comes in. तो
Mm-hmm.
वो सब भी बात आ जाती है. पर ठीक है, मतलब by the way, this was also the reason, I was talking about categories. यहाँ पे मतलब 57 and 61 makes sense. Ravi has to cut a lot of weight to get to 57. His natural category always was 61, but because 61 was not in the Olympics, he had to go to 57. But you don't need that in women. You don't need a 53, 55, 57, 59 in women. It generally just becomes a B tournament.
Hmm. Greco में Samrat is saying
Keep an
Suraj
eye on
Vashisht
Suraj Vashisht.
60
Yeah,
kg.
let's see. I mean, Greco is one of those things. I mean, you show me something, then I'll believe you. यार अभी मतलब बहुत टाइम से कुछ हुआ नहीं है Greco में, and it is seen as a, for whatever reason, it is
बहुत
seen
टाइम
as.
से क्या कभी कुछ नहीं हुआ ग्रेको में तो वर्ल्ड लेवल पे.
If you remember, long back, there was a guy called Sandeep Kumar Tulsi who won a bronze medal at the World Championship. Who was
Which year?
Nalsing times. He was Nalsing's roommate, and he also got caught in drugs along with Nalsing.
Nursing. Okay.
So, मतलब 2014, 2015, somewhere there.
What's the name?
Uh, Sandeep, I think it is from S. It is Sandeep Kumar Tulsi, I think so. Kumar
Okay.
Tulsi, I'm sure. Sandeep या Sanjeev could be something like this.
Okay.
I mean, I had seen that. I remember the draw was the draw from, मतलब अगर वो खुद अगर ड्रॉ बनाएगा ना तो वैसा ड्रॉ मिला था उसको. It was
Mm-hmm.
really the draw from heaven. मतलब there was a, everybody
Post
was in the
Olympic,
other. Hmm?
post Olympic year, I believe.
नहीं नहीं, I think ओलंपिक के पहले हुआ, because it was the Narsing time, right?
Yeah,
Narsing.
it was 2013. I can see
अच्छा 2013, okay, then post Olympic year, ठीक है. I thought maybe 14 or 15, but 13 में तो फिर.
66 kg division.
Hmm. And he had a dream draw. He had an absolute dream draw.
Hmm. And before that, the best ever finish was Mukesh Khatri, who perhaps is the most commonly known Greco-Roman wrestler we've had, right?
वो कहाँ पे?
He his
कौन से
so
साल में?
he had a fifth place finish in 2001 World Championship.
Okay, different world itself.
Yeah,
ऐसा
yeah.
वही तो ग्रेको में तो मतलब कुछ हुआ नहीं है. मतलब बेसिकली आई थिंक इट्स दैट हरियाणा, दिस क्या बोलते हैं, दंगल सीन. Because of the Dangal scene, Greco is seen as the, inferior to freestyle. So nobody wants to go in Greco. I mean, I always get the
It's
feeling
a
that,
cultural thing. Yeah.
yeah, I always get the
So
feeling that
basically,
Greco
they
wrestlers are
at
basically the ones who couldn't make it in freestyle. कि freestyle में कुछ हो नहीं रहा है तो
exactly
Greco में
at
try
a
कर लो.
given time.
हम्म,
True, true, true. That's proven. That's a proven fact.
हम्म.
But I think abhi to like I don't have facts in front of me, but junior level pe bhi there have been a few results in Greco in the recent past. So maybe that cultural shift, even if in small bits, is happening. I would imagine.
चलो
कि अगर
देखते हैं.
junior level पे ही they're starting to focus on Greco, so then maybe that factor is no longer valid.
देखते हैं,
ठीक है,
बट वही
but yeah,
बात है.
enough of wrestling. We
हाँ,
can
इसकी बातें बहुत टाइम से हो रही है, बट नथिंग्स हैपेंड. लेट्स सी.
cool,
चलो,
cool, cool.
तो
Yeah, we
रेसलिंग हो
can
गया. सो
move on.
रेसलिंग, यू आर इवेंचुअली एंडिंग के यू विल बी हैप्पी विद 2 medals, राइट?
Uh, I'm not looking at medals honestly. I just want to see how things are shaping up.
So how are you going to evaluate
Who is
qualitatively?
performing? Yeah, like through their matchups, any major wins they might have.
ठीक है,
Who
देखते
is
हैं.
showing glimpses? Medal तो ठीक है.
ऑलराइट, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं.
यस,
अ,
2 घंटे हो गए हैं और 2 स्पोर्ट्स कंप्लीट किए
मैंने
हैं.
तेरे को पहले ही बोला था.
यू माइट वांट टू स्पीड इट अप.
सो
ठीक है.
बॉक्सिंग. ठीक है, बॉक्सिंग में ऑब्वियसली इन्फो तो बहुत ज़्यादा है नहीं. बॉक्सिंग का पता ही है कि इट्स बिन अ वेरी फ्लक्स सिचुएशन. बाय द वे, आई जस्ट ऐड वन थिंग हियर. ये लिस्ट में देयर आर 2 वुमेन 60 kg कैटेगरी. Sanju Khatri and Neeraj Fogart. Neeraj Fogart is actually in women 65. This is like boxing की right now ये
Hmm.
हालत है कि there is this one press release which came with this team, and that press release is there everywhere. There is no analysis, no nothing. उसके आगे कहीं पे कुछ भी नहीं है. If you go and
ये
search
बॉक्सिंग
the
की हालत नहीं है, ये मीडिया की भी हालत दिखाता है.
बट मीडिया की हालत में दूसरे स्पोर्ट्स में फिर भी थोड़ा थोड़ा मिल जाता है, बॉक्सिंग में एब्सोल्युटली कुछ नहीं मिला है. सो या मीडिया की भी हालत है, मैं मना नहीं कर रहा, दोनों की हालत है, लेकिन
मतलब राधिका और उसका ही देख लेना, राधिका और सृष्टि की मैं बात कर रहा था. इवन इफ दैट
हाँ,
चेंज हैज हैपेंड,
हम्म,
there are so many journalists who are always on Twitter tweeting about stuff in मतलब कोई and wrestling is one of the most prominent sport we have. Something has to come out of it, right? कुछ भी
ठीक है.
नहीं है.
बट एनीवेज मतलब इसमें आई हैव सीन कि मतलब ये वुमेन 60 kg का वो प्रेस रिलीज में एरर था, एंड दैट एरर स्टिल एग्जिस्ट एवरीवेयर. नोबडी हैज एनी आंसर के 60 में दो क्यों है, but it's not. So Neeraj Fogart is at 65, and by the way, talking about Neeraj Fogart, I think that is one of the biggest stories here.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who might not remember, Neeraj Fogart is, by the way, from the Fogart wrestling family, an offshoot of the Fogart wrestling family who went to boxing. And in like 2018, 29, she was competing in 57, and 57 was like the toughest category at the time. मतलब in India women,
Women's boxing, yeah.
where you had you had all this Sonia Lathar, you had Jasmine, I think तब 60 में
Shashi,
थी. You had
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sakshi, you had एक और Sonia थी. There was one Sonia Lathar, and there was Sonam or Sonia. Another Sonia was there. There were like four
Hmm.
or five very good boxers, and Neeraj Fogart
Yeah.
came and just destroyed all of them. Neeraj Fogart just suddenly, she came right to the top, and she was one of the prime prospects going into Tokyo, and then she popped for doping. So it was a very small, brief run at the top. Maybe like she came, she made a splash, and within like 6 months, she had popped for doping. So she's now coming back from a doping ban, and she's moved from 57 to 65, all the way from 60 to 65. She, I think she won the national championship, जो मैंने देखा था अभी, beating another name. Beating, yeah, beating Simranjeet Kaur, जो मैंने देखा था. She
Hmm.
beat, she won.
Simranjeet again, who's been around for a while now.
Yeah, who's been around, who's been to the Olympics as well. I'm not too sure she eventually went
Has
in
she?
60 or she has.
She's
Simran,
been to the Olympics.
yeah, yeah. She's not
Which
done
one?
well.
Tokyo.
I think so, Tokyo, yeah. She didn't do well,
Okay, which is
but she went.
strange.
And she was struggling a bit from, she was not in the best physical shape, but she had qualified before COVID. So that's why she went. I think she was in
Hmm.
six. I don't remember 64 में गई या 60 में गई, but she did go. जितना मुझे याद है. I remember because she was one of my big hopes, but then she never really recovered post COVID. And yeah, so anyway, I think Neeraj Fogart beat her in the finals of the national championship. So that is one of the big storylines where Neeraj Fogart is making a comeback from the doping
Mm,
ban. And
Obviously, the biggest one has to be Nikhat and
Lavlina,
Lavlina coming back.
yep, that is the expected ones.
Very
Uh,
first tournament for them, right? After Paris.
might be. Anyways, boxing में तो tournament ही बहुत कम होते हैं. मतलब there have been
Mm.
a few in recent times.
Essentially, this newly formed international federation, I think they've been conducting World Cups.
Yeah,
They've conducted two World Cups.
मैंने देख
जिसमें
लिया
a
कि
lot of Indian boxers have participated, but Nikhat and these two,
Lavlina
Lavlina,
haven't
were
done.
not there.
I think World Cup में भी, I think first वाले में I don't think India participated too much. Maybe second वाले में they did, but I might be wrong. I'm not
Mm.
sure on that. But yeah, but मैंने जितना देखा था कि the competition level was not very high in those World Cups. I saw a few matches here and there. Didn't follow religiously, but competition level was not very high. And this is their first ever World Championship conducted by World Boxing.
Yeah,
Uh,
true that.
तो एक क्वेश्चन तो वो भी है कि we are still not sure whether all countries will
Scoring
show up.
system. Mm.
स्कोरिंग सिस्टम तो आई थिंक वही है. 5 जजेस.
Remains the same.
नहीं मतलब जो 7 जज किया था दैट इज नॉट देयर. बीच में आईबा ने
Mm.
7 जज किया था ना, सो इट्स द स्टैंडर्ड ओल्ड 5 जजेस एंड 10-9 स्कोरिंग सिस्टम.
Mm.
मतलब ठीक है, यू कैन होप दैट मे बी द जजिंग इज अ लिटिल मोर फेयर, बट सिस्टम इज द सेम.
Mm.
And yeah, the other question is you don't know how many countries will show up, but I'm expecting they should show up now because it's been pretty cut and dry at this point. World boxing is gonna go to the Olympics, and yeah, मैं देखा था कुछ 118 country have already registered with them or something. मतलब
Yeah.
federations, not for the world championship, but
Hmm.
federation. And AIBA, by the
हाँ
way,
मतलब
still
इट्स अ वेरी अनप्रेडिक्टेबल टेरिटरी वो तो है ही.
and AIBA, by the way,
कपल
still
ऑफ
AIBA, by the way,
हाँ
still
ठीक
saying
है
कि they'll
कंप्लीट.
conduct their own world championships in November. तो वो भी factor है.
ठीक है. उससे तो क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है.
Uh,
आई मीन इट्स अ क्लियर कट इक्वेशन राइट नाउ. द
yeah,
पावर एंड रिसोर्सेज आर
are
विद
with
वर्ल्ड
world
बॉक्सिंग.
boxing. So yeah, you
सो
hope that
दैट्स फाइन.
everyone will show, and then this world championship, should show where we stand. So
या.
obviously, and women, in fact, most of them are like we have heard these names. Nikat Zarina and Lavlina, obviously we have heard. Pooja Rani and Nipo Sheeran are names we have heard. We have seen
या
before.
जैस्मीन.
Jasmine Sakshi we have heard. Only ones new one. Meenakshi also has been there, not too much, but
I don't know. I haven't heard about her. A couple of people are actually asking about Neetu
she
in the
beat
chat.
Neetu
I think
Hongas. She beat Neetu
Neetu
Hongas.
lost in semi-final, and it was Meenakshi only whom she lost
And
against.
by the way, obviously boxing में अभी तक वो चल रहा है कि you don't have direct trials, right? Eventually, it's the coaches who are picking based on results and based on subjective evaluation. So Minakshi has got the nod above Neetu Gangas, but it's not like
Hmm.
Neetu was injured or something.
Yeah,
That
even
is
on the
it.
men's side, a few familiar names, no?
But
Couple.
men's side में फिर भी काफी सारे नए हैं, right? I mean, the really familiar ones, you have Sachin Sivach is there, Avinash
Hmm.
Jamwal, Hitesh Gulia, Sumit Kundu. You have heard these. Lakshya
Sumit
Chahar भी
Kundu,
काफी time से है.
I mean, there was a lot of hype around him before Commonwealth, is what I remember. Especially reading one of Jonathan's article because he had that unorthodox playing style.
Okay.
And something I remember, but he apparently lost in the very first round of Commonwealth Games. And from there on, his story sort of died down. But yeah,
Yeah.
good to see him back as well.
Mm. But यहाँ पे obviously the big names are, you have neither Amit nor Deepak. Those have been two of the biggest names in Indian boxing. You obviously
Hmm.
don't have Nishant, who has been our best boxer in the past 3 4 years. Uska bhi by the way चल रहा था. I don't know if you have followed. He first said he's moving to pros, and then he
He
had
did, no?
yeah, so he moved to pros. He had a couple of fights, but then उसके बाद वापस उसका statement आ गया था कि I'm looking at LA. So
Yeah, I mean, he can do both ways, no?
yeah, he
He's
can नहीं
still a pro, but
हाँ
he's
नहीं but
also now looking forward to.
हाँ नहीं but what I mean is जब उसका initial statement आया था कि he is going pro, at that point आया था कि I'm going pro and I'll see about LA कि LA का 26 27 में देखेंगे क्या situation है, what the scene is, and फिर बाद में जल्दी statement आ गया था no I want to go to LA as well. तो
Hmm.
मतलब वो थोड़ा सा चेंज हुआ था बट ऑब्वियसली इज नॉट गोइंग हियर. He could have obviously also competed here, but he's not competing for this one. He's sort of
Hmm.
out of the camp and I think living in US and focusing on the pros for the time being at least. So I don't know उसका क्या होने वाला है.
Yeah, for Nishant also, I think he made a switch quite late. Like he was primarily a 70 kg boxer is what I remember. And वो तो
71 में
पेरिस के लिए
कंप्लीट किया
फिर
ना.
हाँ 70-71 जो भी था वो.
हाँ
And वो तो पेरिस के लिए then he moved up in 75
नहीं नहीं he competed in 71 only ना in Paris.
in Paris. Oh,
हाँ हाँ
okay,
हाँ
okay, my bad then. Yes,
71
then
में
it's
compete
fine.
किया.
Yeah, 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 cool.
पेरिस में इनफैक्ट 75 था ही नहीं. आई थिंक 71 से स्ट्रेट 80 गया था शायद.
हाँ मुझे 75 याद आ रहा था for some reason.
75 वो
ठीक है.
उसका था विजेंद्र सिंह की कैटेगरी थी ओल्ड.
विजेंदर का था. Right, right, right.
By the way, the category is also nice, huh? Men में easy to remember 50, 55, 60, 65.
Even Narinder
Has
seems
competed.
familiar.
Yeah, has
Hmm.
competed.
या
Jugnu,
एशियन गेम्स ब्रॉन्ज या कुछ तो था ना, सिल्वर या ब्रॉन्ज था.
yeah, Asian Games में I think हुआ है. जुगनू जैसे मेंस 85 में जुगनू अलावत. जुगनू नाम सुना है मैंने लेकिन only like very fleetingly. But
हम्म.
I have heard. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई भी नाम नहीं सुना है, but still the big names are missing. Your Amit, your Deepak, your निशांत. उसके अलावा और भी थे थोड़े बहुत जो मेरे को भी याद नहीं आ रहे. जैसे सचिन सिवच के आगे एक और कोई था राइट इन 57.
मेजर मेजर चेंज तो मेंस 50 में हुआ है. आई मीन नो अमित, नॉट इवन
वो तो
दीपक
बोल ही रही है
हैव बीन अराउंड.
अमित और दीपक का
कितने
तो
टाइम
है ही
से?
सबसे बड़ा, for sure.
हम्म,
And this Jadumani Singh obviously is a new guy. I haven't heard the name. At least I
yeah,
haven't.
true. Couple of people in
Yeah,
chat were saying Abhinash and Hitesh are the ones to watch out for.
yeah, I saw that. Mm. Basically, one guy saying some that shit.
Mm.
Shiva Thapa is another guy. Lekin Shiva Thapa to already was way past his prime,
Yeah,
even in the
yeah.
last
I think he
cycle.
was
हाँ
done in Rio.
हाँ हाँ नहीं दूसरा वो मनीष कौशिक भी था जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ही इज आल्सो नॉट he also got injured or something and then never really
Mm.
made a comeback. और
Yeah.
कुछ कुछ नाम थे जो याद नहीं आ रहे अभी बट
हाँ,
आशीष कुमार वाज
मेंस में भी
अनदर.
तो 57 स्टैक्ड अप ही थी ना, सिमिलर टू वुमेन्स.
नहीं बट जैसे नीचे भी जैसे आशीष कुमार वाज अनदर नेम who used to
Mm.
compete in
74
75
again.
and 80
Yeah.
used to compete. So
Yeah.
he's also not there. So yeah, it's a women team फिर भी थोड़ी बहुत you have familiarity there. Men's team is like it's like let's say the next generation team. It's not like completely new. कि तुम हाँ हुसामुद्दीन yes Husamuddin was another guy in 57 uh, just who was also a world medalist remember.
Of course 57 स्टैक्ड अप थी, वही तो बोल रहा हूँ.
Hmm.
Sachin, Husamuddin used to be there. Gaurav Solanki used to be there.
हाँ बट गौरव सोलंकी तो काफी
बिधूड़ी,
पुराना हो गया. गौरव
गौरव बिधूड़ी
सोलंकी
होता था.
दोनों ही थे काफी पुराने हो गए
उसमें
लेकिन
नहीं.
वो.
हम्म.
पवन बल्तियाल भी नया है यस दैट इज द टॉप टू नेम्स 50 55 दोनों के नाम रियली सुने नहीं है.
हम्म.
चलो देखते हैं. या इसमें तो प्रिडिक्शन इज गिविंग इज टफ. आई थिंक मेडल्स तो आ ही जाएंगे. इट इज boxing and you'll definitely get a few medals here and there. Let's say three medals, three medals if we get across the 20 categories. Four would be great. Otherwise, तीन तक आने चाहिए. Uh,
हम्म.
especially non-Olympic category. Just I think Pooja Rani is a pretty good medal hope as well in women's 80 kg. She competes often in this non-Olympic. यहाँ पे तो we don't even know now which will be Olympic categories and not. But
I don't know. Pooja Rani, like Saviti used to compete in 80 kg, isn't it?
नहीं पूजा रानी भी है. Both of them names have been changed. They have been rivals.
No, I mean they have been rivals, but Saviti has been the one who's always
Saviti has
been
a world championship to her name,
world.
but
Yeah,
uh, but
exactly.
but Pooja Rani also does have medals to her name.
Mm.
And I'm not too sure. Did Pooja also go to the Olympics? I think she might have gone to the Olympics, but I'm not sure.
I don't think so. No.
मुझे भी ठीक से याद नहीं है.
Anyways, मतलब boxing में ये भी problem है ना, that we don't have a lot of visibility on the competition also. So how do
Exactly.
you even assess their medal chances?
Hmm. Yeah. So देखते हैं. But मतलब it is one of those things where at least I would like to know कि okay where do we stand? This is where the
Mm.
जैसे प्रथम सिंह पूजा रानी was Asian champion. So maybe that is the one
Mm.
I remember. But let's see where do we stand. I think थोड़ा बहुत तो निकलना चाहिए. If we again come back empty-handed, it's very disappointing. That will say.
Mm.
ठीक है चलो तो बॉक्सिंग जल्दी जल्दी कर लिया. नेक्स्ट इज
Cool.
archery. Hmm. Archery is another big one, right? Especially the compound one. Quite a let's say mixed team this time. Some highly known names like Dheeraj Bommadevra, Tarundeep Rai, Deepika Kumari, and then some really new names like this Gata Khatke, Sharvari Shende,
Some
Chinchita.
highly known names missing also.
तो नए नेम्स आएंगे तो हाईली नोन नेम्स मिसिंग होंगे ही.
But the ones whom you wouldn't have expected, like Ojas Deotale,
ओजस देवतले, अदिति स्वामी, अभिषेक
Aditi
शर्मा,
Swami, Abhishek
अभिषेक वर्मा,
Verma.
शर्मा वर्मा
Hmm.
सॉरी हाँ अभिषेक वर्मा. बट एटलीस्ट मेन में अगर तुम देखो मेन में चारों नाम सुने हुए हैं. रत्मेश फुगे, प्रियांश, अमन साइनी, ऋषभ यादव. They aren't been the glory boys, but they have been in all of them have been in the team. We have heard all of those names. Rishabh Yadav, by the way, just won the bronze in World Games, beating Abhishek Verma in the bronze medal match.
Yeah, he was also part of the mixed pair
Mixed pair
with
to like
Jyoti, who.
yeah, but they lost right in quarters, I
No,
think.
I mean, my point is, Madrid mein they created a world record of qualification,
Okay.
no? Jyoti and him,
Uh,
compound mixed.
okay. So yeah, so uh, compound movement में भी तुम देखो तो it's like Jyoti and Parneet Kaur, you know the names. Pritika and Chiquita are new girls.
Hmm.
Essentially there for Aditi Swami and Madhura was another one who competed in World Games, who has been competing. Uh, but yeah, so it's a very mixed team. And
I was reading it's essentially the same team which competed in Madrid World Cup also.
हाँ they picked together. उसके लिए नया ट्रायल
Hmm.
नहीं किया. They picked the last World Cup and this one together.
Hmm.
So देखते हैं. I mean again archery is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
You hope के मतलब you would definitely expect a compound will come back with some medals. No guarantee, but the performance hasn't been as dominating as it was, let's say, last year or before that. Kind of maybe you can argue if it's the impact of being named into the Olympics, but since that time, compound performance definitely has not been as dominating as it used to be. But still, we have been getting
Again,
medals here and
small
there.
sample size,
हाँ,
thoda early days.
ये भी 2 या 3 वर्ल्ड कप हो चुके हैं आई थिंक.
Hmm.
तो मतलब दैट्स इनफ. 3 वर्ल्ड कप अगर हो गए, आई थिंक 3 नहीं हुए, मे बी
हाँ,
2 ही
बट
हुए हैं.
ऐसा भी नहीं है कि एक ही वर्ल्ड कप में तो अच्छा परफॉर्म नहीं किया ना, बाकी दो में तो
हम्म.
किया ही है।
नहीं बट वो वाली बात नहीं है ना जो पहले थी कि मतलब 3 3 गोल्ड लेके आ रहे हैं हम कंपाउंड में, वो वाली हालत तो नहीं
वो
है
भी
ना.
एक ही साल हुआ था। इट्स नॉट लाइक एवरी ईयर ऑन ईयर एवरीवन वाज गेटिंग 3 गोल्ड्स।
ट्रू बट था. दे ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू बी अराउंड द क्वार्टर फाइनल्स एटलीस्ट. अभी है ना, इवन इफ यू लुक एट द स्कोर्स आल्सो यूज्ड टू, जैसे कंपाउंड में 147 148 स्कोर्स होते थे. नाउ नीचे भी मिलेंगे तुम्हें. 140 142 भी मिलेगा, बट ठीक है. स्कोर्स आर वेरी डिपेंडेंट ऑन वेदर आल्सो, सो दैट इज नॉट द सेम थिंग. देखते हैं फिर.
आर्चरी में मेरे को लाइक टॉकिंग अगेन फ्रॉम अ मैक्रो स्टैंड पॉइंट, लाइक we know we have got the talent, we know
Hmm.
we can win the medal at Olympics also, and we are not able to win it. But kitni cycles, I mean, have passed on, but we haven't seen anything changing as such in archery, right? Or I haven't heard of anything changing domestically, be it the way they conduct trials or maybe something from a sports science standpoint. कुछ भी तो चेंज नहीं हुआ है. Clearly there is something which is not working in the Olympics. So एक होता है ना कि हाँ, you as a, again I know there are federation problems, there is lack of vision, etc. So all I'm saying is, I mean, it's a little disappointing that when you know that okay, there is the right talent who has been competing, performing at, you know, non-Olympic events and somehow not being able to perform at Olympics, so you make certain changes, you do try different things, something like what shooting did post Rio, right? Archery mein you never get to hear anything that's changing.
Yeah, I agree.
Or
And
have you heard of it?
नहीं, I agree with what you're saying. Just a couple of points I can add there. मतलब one is obviously whatever you hear. मतलब ठीक है, we are no experts in this matter, but जितना थोड़ा बहुत हम लोग थोड़ा बहुत मीडिया वालों से बात करते हैं, या you read or you hear a little bit, मतलब generally the talk is always कि archery federation is one of the worst federations out there. The people running it have absolutely no idea what they're doing. This is
Yeah.
generally what we hear. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
कि the
absolutely. I
administrators
mean,
have
private
absolutely no idea.
organizations have been conducting the trials and the on ground operations for many, many years now.
हाँ, तो वो तो एक प्रॉब्लम है ही फिर कि किसी को कुछ पता नहीं है कि चल क्या रहा है. It's basically up to the coaches and the players to do their thing. The only thing good which we hear is कि at least trials are fair and proper. You always do have trials and they are fair. मतलब you can say कि format is good, format is bad. Format bad बहुत बार सुनते हैं हम, लेकिन the trials are at least held regularly for every event, and the winners of the trials go to the events, no questions asked. So that is one good aspect of it. But yeah, उसके
I
अलावा
just remembered one thing that has definitely changed is there is a Korean coach who is responsible for recurve archery at the moment, right?
बट
Good
काफी
old
टाइम से है.
solution जो है.
बट काफी टाइम
हाँ,
से है आई
मतलब
थिंक.
3-4 साल से है, जब से भी है. बट वही है, कुछ भी, इफ नथिंग वर्क्स आउट, द अल्टीमेट सॉल्यूशन इज फॉरेन कोच. तो देखते हैं उसका भी. आई डोंट नो लाइक
Obviously,
व्हाट
hmm,
रिजल्ट्स ही इज बीन एबल टू प्रोड्यूस और.
and obviously compound has done well, right? You cannot
हम्म.
uh, talk about not compound not doing well. So compound
हम्म.
सिर्फ पिछले वही since the Olympic announcement was made, the results haven't been up to the previous standard, but the results are
हम्म.
still pretty good compound में.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Compound is definitely a delta which is going to be there in LA. That's for sure.
देख
प्राइमरली मैं रिकर्व की बात कर रहा था. रिकर्व में मतलब जस्ट थिंकिंग फ्रॉम अ ओवरऑल स्टैंड पॉइंट की ऐसा अल्टीमेटली अगर मेडल आता भी है एलए में तो इट विल बी मोर लाइक एन एक्सीडेंटल मेडल, राइट? कि हाँ ठीक है, उस दिन किसी एक पर्टिकुलर आर्चर का मेंटल ब्लॉक नहीं हुआ एंड व्हेन एवरीथिंग फेल टुगेदर एंड वी वर एबल टू गेट अ गुड ड्रॉ एज वेल, क्वालिफिकेशन में भी स्कोर अच्छा था एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा.
नहीं,
तो
बट
ऑल
आर्चरी
ऑफ दोज
वैसे ही
थिंग्स
होता है,
आर देयर.
राइट? आर्चरी होता वैसे ही है, मतलब आर्चरी इज अनप्रिडिक्टेबल. दैट्स द नेचर ऑफ द बीस्ट.
बट
मतलब
कपिल, आई मीन even from a probability standpoint,
या
we've
यू शुड
been
हैव डन
there and there.
समथिंग.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the only other thing I'll say is कि थोड़ा बहुत ये भी फैक्टर है कि मतलब I've always said this कि I don't think our recurve archers are genuinely among the best three in the world. They are among the best 15 in the world, but maybe the best 10 at times. Um, Generally around the best 15 in the world, but they are not the best three in the world.
But then the counter question to that is, haven't the best 10 or best 15 archers winning Olympic medals?
Well, there are only
They
three
have
medals
been
to win,
winning,
right?
right?
There are only three
Yeah,
medals
but
to win.
there are three medals to win. I know that, but it's not like, those three medals are getting distributed only among the top five archers. Or is it the case?
नहीं, सो बट दैट्स द फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो कोरिया का इशू है ही. तीन में से बहुत बार एक दो तो कोरिया ले ही जाता है, इवन अगर तीनों नहीं लेके जाता है तो
Mm,
टीम मेडल में भी एक मेडल तो कोरिया का रिजर्व रहता ही है. सो दैट इशू इज ऑलवेज देयर.
yeah.
कोरिया के बियॉन्ड ऑब्वियसली इट हैज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड अ लिटिल बिट, एंड या वी शुड हैव गॉट अ मेडल बाय नाउ. आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग दैट. बट एट द
Mm,
सेम टाइम जो तू बोल रहा है ना कि थिंग्स हैव टू गो राइट फॉर अस, because it's not like if everybody is on their top game then we will get a medal. We have to be on a top game and somebody has to underperform for us to get a medal, because we are not the best three in the world. We are like the best individual में तो best 15 teams में तो बोल लो कि maybe among the best 6-7 teams. Not
mm,
but yeah, and the mental block is definitely there, उसमें कोई doubt नहीं है.
yeah.
मेंटल ब्लॉक आर्चरी में ओलंपिक्स में है. बेस्ट एग्जांपल ऑफ दैट इज एक्चुअली द ओलंपिक क्वालिफायर्स. ओलंपिक क्वालिफायर्स में हम जैसी जैसी नो नेम टीम से हारे हैं, इट इज फ्रैंकली रिडिकुलस. जो हम
Yeah.
लोग कभी कभी एकदम नो नेम टीम से हारते हैं.
जैसे chat में उमंग is also saying कि grassroots level is improving, which might be. I mean, I don't know
Hmm.
exactly a lot of grassroots, how the ecosystem is in archery in India. Tata obviously has done a great job in their academy, but the problem with archery is at the elite level actually, that they are
Hmm.
like what you are saying, that them not being able to perform when the pressure switches tightened.
It is also one of those things, right? It's a bit like I mean, I like to give the example of the South Africa cricket team. वो थोड़ा एक मंकी बन गया है.
Hmm. It could be a good analogy, yeah.
मतलब वो एक मंकी बन गया है which needs to be got off at some point, and hopefully then the doors can open. Lekin the monkey has become a gorilla at this point, and you have a gorilla on your back and getting it off is very tough.
Yeah, true that.
But ठीक है. चलो, so let's see. Hopefully obviously compound में you should definitely see some medals. Recurve में if something, मतलब you definitely hope, counting the team events as well, team events and individual events and
Hmm.
everything, medal-less is definitely disappointing. You hope to see, मतलब compound में तो definitely you are expecting like 3-4 medals across all
Hmm.
categories. मतलब there are 5 categories, so there are 15 medals to be won. तो 15 में से 3-4 you definitely hope in compound minimum, with at least hopefully one gold. रिकव में मतलब या एक दो मेडल आ जाता है तो इट्स ग्रेट.
Yeah.
And I've always said I think team events are a better chance than individual. So even the logic which you're saying कि एक person under pressure नहीं आया, great, but what we need is three people to not come under pressure or two people to not come under pressure,
True
not one
that.
person to come under not come under pressure. ठीक है। और
True.
बाय द वे पेरिस में तो याद ही है राइट, अपन ने वो ब्रॉन्ज मेडल मैच साथ में ही देखा था। आई मीन हु वाज अंकिता भगत वाज द वन competing right in the bronze
Ankita
medal
and
match.
Dheeraj, yeah.
Yeah, but Ankita really crashed and burned right in the end. मतलब
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
तीन
It
तीन
was
सेट तक
all over
बराबर
her
चल रहा था।
face.
आई
Hmm.
थिंक 2 या 3 सेट तक बराबर चल रहा था, एंड देन एट द प्रेशर पॉइंट इट गेव अप। हुआ
Hmm.
ही था वो।
Yeah, I just remember in the semi-final, actually, not in semi-final, quarter-final, में it was actually Ankita who was the differential and
या
who won it for us. And जब medal वाला match हुआ ना, उसमें तो जो मतलब she was
मतलब
badly under pressure.
मतलब
It was
सेमीफाइनल
very
तो चलो,
evident.
आई थिंक सेमीफाइनल तो चलो कोरिया के साथ था, जितना मुझे याद है कि कोरिया के सामने
So
खेला।
that's why I'm not counting only semi-final का
हाँ
तो
नहीं,
चलो
सो
ठीक
दैट्स
है,
व्हाट
it's
आई
a
एम सेइंग
given.
कि सेमीफाइनल चलो कोरिया के साथ था, वी एक्चुअली गेव देम अ डिसेंट फाइट, सेमीफाइनल वाज फाइन। ओके, बट या ब्रॉन्ज मेडल में वो दिख रहा था, शी मतलब क्रैश्ड एंड बर्न्ड फॉर श्योर।
Hmm.
बट व्हाट टू डू। चलो आगे चलते हैं। लास्ट ये तो
Cool.
अब तुझे ही रन करना है।
मुझे ही रन करना है.
हम्म,
ठीक है. So I think I'll just give a brief explainer. सबसे पहले तो यहाँ पे, so there are three categories of athletes I've sort of mentioned here. One is the ones who are in bold are
क्वालिफाइड।
already qualified, and that too by the standard. So there are two ways to qualify in athletics, right? Almost everyone of us would know about it. One is by the qualification standard, you beat that mark and you're able to qualify directly, and then there is a ranking route. So the ones with asterisk mark here are the ones who stand in ranking quota at the moment and more or less will be able to qualify. And the ones who do not have anything at the moment are not even in the ranking quota, but I mean they have
क्लोज।
their own chances of, I won't say close, we'll discuss on to that, but some of them are close, some of them are a little far off also. But we do have a one major tournament coming up, not tournament but competition coming up interstate, which is like a category B event. So category B event would here mean higher ranking points and them jumping onto a few, quota places or quota rankings. So that ways there are still possibilities, but overall, from a overall standpoint, again, athletics maybe it's a pretty bad situation, especially if you compare it with how we were in Budapest, right?
ओके।
Budapest, maybe we had qualified 28 athletes in total.
हम्म।
I know there were relay teams as well, which counts adds on to the overall count by 5 or 6. But from 28 to this, what's the total here?
यहाँ तो कितने छः,
I think it's not even 20 at the moment.
3 6 12, so this is like 22, you have 22 names here।
22, okay. So yeah, like event by event भी अगर करेंगे तो obviously the first thing which is visible is
नहीं नहीं,
we
22 नहीं है, 4 8 12 13, you have 19 names here, sorry, my mistake।
19, yeah, whatever. So yeah, like overall the number of athletes have come down, and that too we are counting here a few athletes who might not even qualify, so it might not be actually 19 also at the end of the day. Quickly coming on to the athletes,
अच्छा
firstly
एक
I'll
मिनट,
take up.
बिफोर यू गो देयर, relays are done, we are not in any relays।
Relays are not done. Again, interstate may typically how it happens, they manage to enter a couple of international teams and then, get the relays going
हम्म,
just to see if there is a chance to qualify.
हम्म,
But for both women's and men's, I mean, the mark that they're sort of chasing, I don't think it's achievable. So, for instance, in 4x4 men's, the mark they need to achieve is very close to our present national record, which was achieved in Budapest.
हम्म।
In Budapest, when they
I
ran that
remember that।
crazy relay in qualification, right?
Yeah।
350, 259 something.
हम्म।
That's the mark we are chasing. So I don't think it's going to happen, even if we enter in all three relays, mixed, women's as well as men's 4x4.
तो तीनों ही नहीं हो रहे हैं यहाँ से।
नहीं हो रहे. It's
अच्छा,
out of equation in
एंड
my
मेंस
opinion.
100 का भी चल रहा था थोड़ा, नथिंग देयर।
मेंस 100 तो ठीक है वो चल रहा था, बट इट केम ऑन लेटर ऑन बिकॉज वी डिड नॉट पार्टिसिपेट इन द वर्ल्ड रिले which happens in May, which is like the main
हम्म,
tournament where we can qualify. उसके बाद तो दो लास्ट के दो स्लॉट्स बचते हैं which becomes difficult to qualify in
हम्म,
those slots. So yeah, like no chances of any relay team in next year. If you s- talk to me, maybe we might see men's 4x1 team as well in world championship, depending on they have to have like a proper perfect race because abhi bhi they are a little far off from the world level. Jada races की नहीं है, it's just 2-3 races that they have in hand, but yeah, like थोड़ा सा सीलिंग और ज्यादा है.
ठीक है, बोल. You're going to
So
the
yeah,
individual athletes. Yeah.
talking quickly, covering on the women's side, Parul, of course, we she qualified directly by the standard. I don't think like she'll qualify for the final, but there's nothing to see beyond that. Uh, will she be able to better her national record? Is something that we can again look at. I think uska national record again is around 9:15 at the moment. Uh, you talk about where the medal even if let's say everyone is performing at their best, the medal will usually come around 9 or even below 9. So there's a 15 to 20-second gap we are talking about. That's how far Parul is at the moment. Anurani again, ye to tune bhi suna hoga, she's come
She's
back
she's
suddenly out of the
breaching
blue.
60. पढ़ा मैंने कि दो तीन टूर्नामेंट में she's breached 60 now
60, हाँ, so
consistently.
वो typically उसका ये रहता है that like in a couple of events she'll come back in in a year she'll perform in those 2-3 events above 60 and then sort of vanishes. So at the moment, yes, 60 plus is what her level is. So yeah, we can actually see her qualifying for the final also. Although world
स्टैंडर्ड क्या है?
championship में she hasn't standard qualification का.
64 I just saw.
I think 64 है, yeah.
हम्म,
64 is the standard, but typically final के लिए qualify हो जाता है if you are able to hit above 60 in the world championship. 60
हम्म,
61 में आप top 12 में आ जाते हो.
okay.
Then again, Priyanka Goswami, Nandini, I mean, just there to compete. Like, can't expect anything out of them. Priyanka typically participates in 20 kilometer walk, but that's again a different story. Even on the men's side, if you see, matlab, I don't know, have we discussed this thing, Kapil, ever on our stream that Indian race walking
हम्म,
has seen a lot of investment going into this particular category of event. I don't know, I remember reading it sometime back. There was a lot of investment which was put in race walking, especially because they perceived it to be an easier event where we have a potential chance of
मतलब
getting a medal from an Olympic
I mean
standpoint.
I just
It
remember reading an article of a race walker saying कि race walking is not getting support, and he was saying कि all we actually need are shoes. You have all these other events which they need expensive equipment and this and that and lot of training and everything,
नहीं
training
नहीं.
equipment and ये and वो, and हमको सिर्फ जूते दे दो and we'll do something. That's what I
So वो
remember
maybe
reading.
किसी might have been a one-off interview you would have read, but from a overall standpoint, I clearly remember athletics maybe, yeah, sport-wise be there was a division of sport by sport amount of funds which were going in certain categories, and race walking used to be one of the topmost category that
Hmm.
was shortlisted by
And it
SAI.
does make
Okay,
sense, right?
it did make sense at one
Hmm.
point of time. We had a lot of race walkers, especially in 20K, and then there was this relay also happening, marathon relay in Paris, and all of that. But the overall point is, it is all seemingly falling apart at the moment.
Hmm.
We used to have such a good bench strength on men's side as well in 20-kilometer walk. At the moment, it's just one person who is also qualifying through the ranking quota route. Nobody else.
Hmm.
Paris, maybe I think we had three people, or even more than three. We had
And we had to
Paris
send our best
qualification,
three,
and
I
we had
think.
to exactly, yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a little grim situation. I think the entire system of race walking is also falling apart. It's not been a successful
और रे
event for us.
रेस वॉकिंग का एक्चुअली थोड़ा डिसएडवांटेज वो भी होता है राइट कि एशिया इज वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग तो रेस वॉकर्स को एशिया में भी मेडल कम ही मिलते हैं जैसे
हाँ, रेस
चाइना
वॉकिंग.
चाइना एंड जापान आर वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know, whatever their reasons were to shortlist this particular category of event, but it's not just Asian. I mean, the level is very high in Europe also. Budapest में both men and women 20-kilometer walk race walk champion was from Spain.
ओके
And then you have Italy, you have Slovakia, you have so many other, countries from Europe also who are great in race walking. So it's not like there's dearth of competition.
ओके
Competition तगड़ा रहता है. Then Nandini, I think by virtue of her winning the Asian Athletics में heptathlon, that's how she's provisionally qualified at the moment. Ankita, we like at the moment she's not qualified, not there in ranking quota, category. But I think like if she wins steeplechase event in interstate, that's where she'll be able to uh, record a few more ranking points and she can qualify. Shaili Zinka, I think it's a very grim situation. At the moment, she's very far off. I should have put in the ranks there against her name.
नहीं नहीं वो तो
But
आ जाएगा
just by rough calculation, which I did this morning only, if she's able to win interstate and that to come with a 660 or 670 sort of jump, which is her level best, that is when she stands a chance of qualification, which at the moment, given the form she is in, I think it's a little far off.
आई थिंक रैंकिंग में तो इसमें तो वो दिखा रहा है एनसी सोजन आई थिंक इज अहेड ऑफ हर एनसी सोजन इज
But
इंजर्ड राइट
Ansi Sojan has called off her season.
सीजन
Yeah. So she's
शी
no longer
62nd
going
इन
to
द
be.
रैंकिंग राइट नाउ
Yeah, but Shelly का अगर तू देखेगा, I mean,
एंड वी
once you
हैव
click on it,
ओनली
no,
36 total and she's 62nd देख करूँ
yeah. So if you click on her name, no,
ये रहा
in that, हाँ, उस पे click करे एक बारी.
और किस पे क्लिक करूँ
हाँ, so इसमें if you see, if she performs like a 660, 670 jump in interstate and that too wins it, no, so then the lowest ranking event goes out and that comes into the picture and average of top 5 is considered in terms of ranking
या
points. So there she'll be able to amass good points and maybe can qualify. But uska 660 bhi, I think she's not done 650. I can't clearly see here, but 650 भी
664 आया
उसने
है
इस
664
सीजन.
आया अप्रैल 2025
हाँ, so but उसके
नेशनल
बाद से,
चैंपियनशिप्स
हाँ, so if she can replicate that performance, still she
उसके
can,
बाद शी इज इन 640s सो
हाँ,
664 केम इन अप्रैल
640 भी टच नहीं कर रही अभी तो at the moment. Like she's been on European
ओके
swing of events also. There again 620, 630, 620, 630 यही चल रहा है.
मई जून में आए हैं 640s 641
Hmm.
644 648 इन मई एंड जून
Yeah. So to be on a safer side, she at least needs a 660 jump or more, and that is where she stands a chance of qualification, not even a guarantee then.
तो मतलब
So yeah,
so these are like
that
the only women ज्योति यादव जी नॉट देयर मैं देखा था रैंकिंग में शी वाज लाइक 3-4 पॉइंट्स बिहाइंड 3-4 places behind
Jyoti Araji would have qualified. She's actually injured right now,
अच्छा
and
ओके
उसकी अभी इंजरी हुई थी. I think university games में she was participating, or maybe Asian. I don't remember
क्योंकि मैंने
exactly.
ट्विटर पे देखा था some people were calculating if she can make it if 2-3 people pull out and all that
I don't know, but she's got a major injury and she's undergoing surgery, and I think it's a knee or ankle injury. So it'll
okay
take her 6-7 months at least to come back.
okay and obviously you don't want to risk it for world championship क्योंकि मेडल वेडल तो
हाँ,
मिलता नहीं है
exactly. But Jyoti के भी event में, I mean, it's a unfortunate situation that we have this one athlete coming up really nice in, in a unorthodox event, and the event in itself is going off the charts at the moment. Like, the timings of this event have gone crazy. What
Okay.
used to be a normal 12:30, 12:40 winning medal time,
Mhm.
that's become 12:10 to 12:20 now, or 12:25. And 2 साल पहले तक 12:28 used to be a world record, just to put some
Oh,
context.
बाप रे. Hmm.
And like right now, if you want to win a medal in 100-meter hurdles, you have to do better than 12:25 at least.
ठीक है. ठीक है, तो मतलब वुमेन में तो यू आर नॉट होपिंग मच एट ऑल. पारुल चौधरी also, are there the multiple rounds or the prelims and then final? बीच में भी कुछ है, सेमीफाइनल सेमीफाइनल इन स्टीपल चेस?
I think steeplechase में नहीं होगा. So sprints में होता है, but steeplechase में it will be just 2 rounds,
तो मतलब
heats
नॉट
and
गेटिंग टू द
then straight
फाइनल.
away final. Yeah.
ठीक है. आई थिंक नीरज को जरा साइड में रख, बचे हुए कर ले पहले.
नीरज का भी, like,
नीरज
javelin
से
throw
एंड
as
करते
a
हैं ना.
whole we can discuss.
हाँ, नीरज से एंड में करते हैं, जैवलिन तो एज अ होल
Okay.
एंड में करते हैं. बचा कर
Hmm.
ले.
So yeah, Gulveer ka, yeah, like, even though he's participating in 5K and 10K, which is primarily dominated by East Asians, and there are no chances of medal, he's one athlete
Primarily
who's
dominated by, you mean Europeans, East Asians?
East Asian बोला क्या नहीं, East Africans I meant.
अच्छा, ईस्ट अफ्रीकन. ओके, मैं ईस्ट
Yeah,
एशियन,
yeah.
हाँ ओके, मैं बोला ईस्ट एशियन
My
समझ गया.
bad. East Africans I meant, the
हाँ.
Ethiopians and the Kenyans.
हम्म.
But yeah, like, he's one athlete who's been super consistent and performing really, really well for us.
हम्म.
He's been breaking his own national record, which is set up in 5K and 10K. And recently, I think 1500-meter, maybe his mark stands at third best in India. So overall, I mean, he's been training there in the US, been training there, and डायमंड लीग में भी पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा है, वर्ल्ड टूर गोल्ड लेवल पे भी पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा है,
हम्म.
वर्ल्ड कॉन्टिनेंटल गोल्ड पे. सो या, वन एथलीट you definitely need to watch out for, but in terms of his ceiling, entering final has to be the only, ceiling for him.
यहाँ पे भी होगा प्रीलिम्स और फाइनल्स, 5K 10K में भी होगा.
Same, I think heats and final, same thing. Or
ओके.
10K में sometimes it's just, direct final also.
हम्म.
I am not exactly sure, but I think होना चाहिए, qualification and then final होना चाहिए.
सो लेट्स से 15th प्लेस समवेयर देयर.
Yeah, should be a good one if he's able to, you know, uh, finish under top 15. Top 10 भी consider कर सकते हैं. Like, ज़्यादा surprising नहीं होगा if he's able to finish around 10th also.
Which one you think is the pet event, 5K ki 10K? Or is it
I
both
would,
very
I
similar?
think I would say 5K, because 5K is the one where he has the qualification standard.
Okay.
10K is the one where he
Is through ranking.
is standing through ranking quota.
Okay. ठीक है, सेबल का
So
तो पता ही है, साबले का तो.
साबले, हाँ, अलॉट, मतलब काफी नॉस्टैल्जिया है क्या तेरे को WWE का, कपिल? Every time you see Avinash,
Wow,
you'll
I
always
did not
remember
make that
Sable.
connection. I did not make that connection. Wow. नहीं भैया, ऐसा
Okay.
कुछ नहीं है. इट इज सिंपली भैया टेबल सेबल, मतलब साबले. यू थिंक इट शुड बी SABLAY. SABLA.
मतलब it's very simple, especially you being born
नहीं,
and brought up in Maharashtra,
आई
should be
एम.
familiar with his name, that a lot of Maharashtrian names end with A.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but born and brought up in Maharashtra, fine, but also born and brought up in Bombay. Bombay is much more multicultural. It's not ke I'm hearing names like Damle and Sable every second day. Okay?
Seriously?
Yeah, and I live in the area I live in is more much more Gujarati dominated.
Okay.
मतलब मेरे स्कूल में they were like 55% or 60% Gujaratis.
ठीक है, fair enough.
But yeah, ठीक
ठीक
है.
है, but
Hmm.
coming back to the point, I think Gulveer and Avinash
Get to the
are in
finals.
parallel zone
Get to the
currently.
finals 10, 12,
Yeah,
15. Some साबले का मतलब eventually do you feel कि मतलब he's reached his ceiling? मतलब
yeah, I
और
think
आगे
so.
कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, right? This is where he's gonna be.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, that's where he's reached. 810, 811 है ना national record at the moment.
हाँ वो मतलब एग्जैक्ट तो मुझे
So
पता नहीं, तुझे ही पता होगा।
हाँ नहीं मतलब मुझे भी पता नहीं है. I'm just trying to remember. But yeah, I think he's hit his ceiling and इससे ज़्यादा improvement नहीं होगी in my opinion also.
ठीक है। ट्रिपल जंप में भी हैव टू नेम्स। पहले तो चार चार नाम आते थे ट्रिपल जंप इज अनदर इवेंट वेयर एट वन पॉइंट इंडिया वाज
Okay,
वेरी
hold on,
एक्साइटेड।
hold on. A couple of people are saying Avinash also injured and went through. Oh yeah, he fell off in the Diamond League. I totally forgot about it. So he was there in one of the recent Diamond League. I don't know which one, somewhere in Europe only. And he got stumbled because of a competitor in front of him. And I mean, not his fault. It was more like accidental, but he fell off and got injured. And yeah, if like these guys are saying he'll have to get operated, so high chances he might withdraw from the world championship or might have already withdrawn. So yeah, we don't get to see him in the worlds then.
So I'll just clarify one thing jaldi se. Vaibhav Soni saying, "Wow, couple did not know you studied in Dhirubhai Ambani school." I was not in Dhirubhai Ambani school. Dhirubhai Ambani school tha bhi nahi when I was in school. It's definitely not the only Gujarati school in Bombay. I was in Jamnabai Nursery School, which also I don't know currently kya hai, but I am in general in a Gujarati area, Vilepale, where it's quite a Gujarati dominated area in general, Vilepale Jew area. ठीक है। हाँ तो मतलब साबले भी gone then, ठीक है।
So yeah, then the fourth athlete who's qualified by standard, Praveen Chitraval. मतलब वही है like he's a good talent that we have. The missing link from his resume so far has been he's been producing a lot of world class jumps, I would say 1730 above, but they've been coming here and there and
छोटे मोटे इवेंट्स में।
not when you require them the most. And in like he was a big time disappointment in the previous world championship, so that monkey is definitely on his back. So yeah, he's been talking big also that he sees himself as a world class athlete. So yeah, all eyes on him to see if he's able to one qualify for the final and then where does he finish at, because Budapest was a proper disaster for him.
अब अबू बकर को भी ऐड कर ले, सिमिलर स्टोरीज।
Like similar story, but I would put Praveen definitely well ahead of Abu
अबू
Bakr.
बकर।
Abu Bakr, ठीक है, he's been consistently good for us, but it's Praveen who's been doing 1730 plus, right?
ओके।
So that's where the major hope is coming from there. But yeah, I mean, having two athletes in one category qualifying for worlds always stands better because, I mean, from a confidence standpoint, I think they tend to do better in that scenario.
ठीक है।
Although Budapest में we had three of them, there was
हम्म।
Eldo's Paul also, और तीनों ने ही कुछ भी नहीं किया था.
वही मतलब वही ट्रिपल जंप का काफी इस टाइम से स्टोरी चल रहा है कि वी हैव हैड दीस थ्री फोर नेम्स, देयर वाज अ फोर्थ नेम आल्सो राइट इन ट्रिपल जंप, आई डोंट रिमेंबर। मोहम्मद अनीस या लॉन्ग जंप था कि ट्रिपल जंप था, लॉन्ग जंप था ना।
लॉन्ग जंप हाँ.
बट आई
एल्डोस
थिंक
पॉल बोला तो
नहीं, एक चौथा भी
द
नाम
थर्ड
था आई
वन.
थिंक ट्रिपल जंप में, तीन ही थे।
हाँ, चौथा पांचवा मतलब और भी लोग हैं.
नहीं एक
There's
चौथा
one
पता नहीं, ठीक है।
yeah, I mean doesn't ring a bell for me also, but
हम्म।
yeah, like nobody's above 17. Only these three have been, touched that 17. Karthik Unni Krishnan, Vasant Singh. He's
ओके।
also been a decent triple jumper for us. I mean, you can keep him in Abdullah Abu Bakr, Eldos Paul category.
ठीक
So
है।
yeah, that's on triple jump.
हम्म। बोल आगे
200
वॉक्स
meter
तो तू कर
में
ही चुका है, हाँ। या
200
नेम,
meter will be a good event to watch.
name I've
Animesh,
been hearing a lot. I don't know if it's
yeah,
overblown a little bit, but
it's just been the name you've been hearing. Like you haven't seen him racing, yeah,
yeah, haven't really
coach.
seen much, हाँ, but वही
Yeah,
names तो मतलब तभी आते हैं जब नेशनल रिकॉर्ड तोड़ा होगा, right?
so yeah, like obviously he's far off from the world level if you talk about, but contextualizing and seeing how and where the Indian sprint has stood for many, many years, right? He clearly stands off. There is very, vivid physicality about him. He's been consistently performing at 2030 to 2060 level, even in international, which is again a very rare thing to see. Sprinters में ये प्रॉब्लम हमेशा से हमारी रही है कि like there have been flashes, they'll do flashes and then die off for the rest of the year, but that's not the thing with Animesh. He's been
ठीक
very
है.
very consistent. So 2050 इसका base level तू मान सकता है कपिल, which is reasonable and can actually make him qualify for semi final also. But
So borderline
at
for
the moment,
semi-final.
yeah, at the moment, if he gets a good heat, he might qualify for semi final. But yeah, that's about it. And that too, I mean, for him, it's also not just consistency. He's also been improving. Like he's broken his own national record a couple of times. So 2020s maybe जाके आया है, टच करके आया है. One of those races were over the limited wind of 2 meter per second. But yeah, otherwise the national record would have been 2020s में. So yeah, that's where we are at. It'll be super interesting for him to see very unusual to see a Indian athlete in a sprint at World Championship. So definitely a very exciting uh,
Hmm.
territory.
And then you have Sarvesh Kushare who just might make it, might not make it. I'm guessing that 48, 46 means ke 46 will qualify and he's 48th right now in
Yeah,
rankings.
exactly. He's 48, and then again, we have a category B event like I spoke about, interstate coming up, right?
Mhm.
And he does seem to be in good form also. I think recently अभी कुछ तो national open तो अभी होना है, but in some event he cleared 226 and went for the national record also. I think it was one of those events where TJ also participated, and he just said in his video that he was there to support him and to sort of nudge him to do that national record. तो 226 भी अगर करता है interstate में, clearly is the best we have in India. So that way also he'll be in a reasonable position to qualify for worlds.
Okay, and by the way, talking about Tejaswin, nowhere decathlon qualification में.
So decathlon में, if you remember, he missed out on Asian athletics championship gold by very very small. I
Yeah,
mean,
small
there was a
margin.
minor gap from the gold
वो
medalist.
वही जो एक दो इवेंट उसके प्रॉब्लमेटिक है, राइट? एक पोल वॉल्ट है और एक आई थिंक शॉर्ट पट था, मे बी प्रॉब्लमेटिक, आई डोंट
हाँ,
नो.
सारी सारी throws basically and
हम्म.
pole vault. These
हम्म.
are the four problematic areas.
हम्म.
So उससे रह गया. There is this quota of if you're a continental champion, you can qualify through that route also.
हम्म.
So the same way Nandini is provisionally qualified, right?
ओके.
Had he won that Asian athletic gold, he would have qualified, and then I think वो अभी जो उसने national record किया पोलैंड में,
हम्म.
वो skip कर देता and he would have directly focused on the world championship. But
हम्म.
हाँ, अभी the level is a little far off.
हम्म.
He definitely needs to unlock one pole vault. And pole vault का भी, I have this theory, I need to sit on the data and prove it.
हम्म.
A lot of athletes who are good high jumpers in decathlon are also good at pole vault.
हाँ, वो तो
Which,
जनरल थियरी है ही, मतलब
I
ही इज
mean,
द एक्सेप्शन इन दैट रूल.
yes, you have numbers also which back it up. Okay, many years back, I think 2 3 years back, I'd seen, but I don't know how much of it holds true. कितना high correlation है दोनों में. But if that is there, then I think it's a technical problem that he needs to unlock that right technique for him to jump to 200 से 300 points की jump easily सिर्फ pole vault में हो सकती है.
बट वो तो उसका काउंटर पॉइंट वही है कि मतलब इट्स नॉट अ न्यू इशू फॉर देम. मतलब बहुत टाइम से he's been trying to do something about pole vault, and the general expectation is because he is a high jumper, he should have figured out pole vault by now, but for whatever reason, he's not been able to do it.
Yeah, because he's not having the technical coaching for it. In his opinion, I mean,
Coaching
he
okay,
doesn't. he hasn't gone for a technical coaching for pole vault
but
specifically.
मतलब
कुछ तो
he
उसका
see,
लॉजिक दिया था उसने भी.
पता नहीं, but he seems like a guy who's not short of resources, though. I would have
Yeah, of
imagined a
course.
bit.
I mean, he's very well planned and calculated also, and
Hmm.
he's smart enough to go
Exactly, अभी
about
तक
it.
figure out कर लिया होता, मतलब that's the only point.
Yeah, so pole vault is definitely one event he's looking at. One thing that he's changed is he's brought in his new set of poles actually, which is
Hmm.
again I think more on stiffer side. So that he's participated only one in the European event where he did achieve his personal best in pole vault. So that ways I mean he'll get used to those poles. So थोड़ा सा वहां से अनलॉक होएगा एंड देन डिस्कस इन javelin and shot put. These three throw events are, I wouldn't say problematic, but something he's not gotten used to, and there's a lot of unlocking which needs to be done there.
ठीक है.
So by his own analysis, 8,000 does seem a reasonable target that he can achieve maybe in next 1 year or so.
Hmm.
But even 8,000 is not good enough
For
for world level. It's 8,500 to 9,000 is where the top 10 decathletes sit.
ठीक है. Mulli Sri Shankar, you want to say that tragic story? I mean, I saw कि he's been consistently jumping 8 plus everywhere. In fact, pretty much
Yeah.
8, 10, 8, 15 तक जा रहा था, right?
There have been a couple of events basically ever since he's come back. पहले event में 8 plus किया and then very recently in the world continental bronze भुवनेश्वर में जो था
Hmm.
उसमें भी he won it at the very last, in the very last jump 814 किया.
Mhm.
So basically he's not reached his original levels, but as things stand, I did some rough maths around him. I think he's in a very, very comfortable situation right now to qualify for the world championship. Just that he needs to come up with a 815 or a 810 jump once more and needs to finish in the first position in interstate. So
अच्छा,
that's the basic requirement.
I think the just to clarify, I think the problem here is that he needs 5 events to get on the ranking, and he currently has only 4. Right? I guess that's the
Yeah,
problem,
yeah,
right? So he,
yeah, yeah.
so if you go to the World Athletics site and you try to see his rankings, वो he
You
doesn't
won't
show
see it.
up. He doesn't show up simply because he doesn't have 5 results yet.
Hmm.
But the results which he does have, 4 results are which are pretty good. And so if you are saying कि you कितना तूने बोला 815,
815 puts him in a very comfortable position to qualify.
and he can he surprise at World Championship too early?
Yeah, yeah, it's too early. I mean, will depend how he recovers also after this because he's been
Hmm.
traveling a lot
He will
in
be
order to
fatigued as well.
qualify for
Yeah.
world championship. He would be
Hmm.
fatigued for sure. We are at the moment, what is it, 16th August. It's
Hmm.
just what, less than 1 month to prepare for worlds, right?
I think at 13th का
And
date है, right? Starting. Hmm.
so too early. I mean, other athletes would have had a proper, you know, system in
Build up
place.
and
How do you
everything.
peak at the right time?
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't think it'll be. Matlab, he can treat World Championship more
As
as
a
one more, preparation event to set up a base for him for rest of the Olympic cycle.
he has made the World Championship finals in the past, right? So that's not a new thing for him.
He did in Eugene, yeah,
Yeah.
but again, Budapest again was a disaster for him.
अच्छा.
So he would want to.
बुडापेस्ट में फिट था क्या? उसके बाद इंजर हुआ?
Budapest mein he entered Budapest with a very good form,
Okay.
and it was a absolute disaster. He couldn't touch 8 meters also,
Okay.
and I think before Budapest was he was very easily comfortably touching 820s, 830s.
Okay.
Yeah.
ठीक है. Then let's come to the big one. First of all, तो तूने यहाँ 4 नाम डाले हैं. I mean, Rohit Yadav is not really in contention, right? Because as far as I know, only 3 can qualify. Or can 4?
Neeraj has a wild card being a
Okay.
defending world champion.
So
And I was
that's why
just
four
doing
can
rough
make it.
maths. Because Rohit ka, like, he does seem a little far off, but I mean, 85 agar karta hai, 84, 85 in an interstate and
Hmm,
wins the interstate,
hmm.
I think he'll jump up to top 36. So that ways we can actually have four javelin throwers also qualify.
So are the others competing in interstate, or they are stepping out for letting him get first?
I don't know actually. Sachin did compete in the continental bronze. He was actually very bad. Like he
सचिन
didn't
का
even
पहले भी
touch.
I remember नीरज चोपड़ा क्लासिक में भी he had just one good throw. एक
He
good
had
throw से
one
he
good
came to
throw,
like
yeah.
I think I don't remember final placing, maybe third. I'm not sure, but he had one
Third तो
good
नहीं
throw.
था, fourth या fifth था, I think.
Fourth होगा. But I
Hmm.
remember he had eventually only one good throw.
Yeah. Yeah. He hasn't been good after the Asian Athletics.
Hmm,
Asian Athletics में he did throw 85, 86 after finish second after Nadeem. But उसके बाद से like कुछ समझ ही नहीं आया, and people had high hopes from him considering everyone was hoping that there is higher ceiling to him. He's just
hmm.
new guy on the tour. There is
And
more
looking at him, you feel like the technique can still be refined a lot. That is another
technique
thing.
can be refined, the
Hmm,
fitness can be refined.
hmm.
There were opportunities there, but yeah, like at the moment I don't think world championship may, obviously he'll qualify very easily, but I am personally not expecting anything from him at the moment. Neither from Yashveer Singh also.
Yeah, यशवी तो नीरज चोपड़ा में भी was quite disappointing.
He
Uh,
was, yeah.
so मतलब finals आ सकता है इनमें से किसी का. सचिन का hopefully if he gets that one good throw maybe.
Yeah, maybe. At the moment it doesn't look that good. But
Hmm.
yeah, like
क्योंकि
Budapest maybe last time, who would have expected Mannu DP and
हम्म
Jenna to qualify and rather finish fifth and sixth?
क्योंकि मतलब बट जैवलिन में एक एक्चुअली ये भी थोड़ा रिवर्स है राइट मतलब द कंपटीशन जैसे यू वर सेइंग कि 100 मीटर हर्डल्स में कंपटीशन इज वेरी हाई javelin में it's not that high maybe we can argue you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the
obviously.
you have those 4 or 5 guys who have been dominating the scene for like the past 5 years at this point. That new
True.
guy came in Brazilian, that the Silva guy, right? Who just threw
Yeah,
90
90 plus
meters.
pro. Hmm.
So he's like the new up and comer, but उसके अलावा तो वही Weber and Chopra and Nadeem and
Wildlich.
Vadlich
Yeah.
भी in fact बहुत time से दिखा नहीं है, but I'm guessing he must be there at Worlds.
Yeah. Javelin में तो overall it's a South Asian story which is brewing up.
Hmm.
Couple of Sri
That Sri
Lankans have
Lankan guy,
qualified.
Sri Lankan guy was good.
You never know, अगले साल तू तेरे को सुनने में आएगा like Nadeem के अलावा there's a Pakistani javelin thrower. Like there are two javelin throwers coming up from Pakistan.
अच्छा ये नहीं सुना मैंने.
मैंने भी नहीं सुना. I'm just cooking it up.
अच्छा
It
you're
won't
just
be a
cooking it up. Okay,
surprise
okay.
कि अगले साल वो भी सुनने को आता है तो.
सबसे पहले तो वी हैव टू सी कि नदीम आएगा कि नहीं आएगा. नदीम का कोई भरोसा नहीं है.
हम्म.
बट
आ
एक्सपेक्टिंग
जाए तो बेटर है. I mean, he was there for Asian
ऑब्वियसली
Championship, so I don't know.
या ऑब्वियसली यू वांट टू सी हिम देयर एंड यू वांट टू सी नीरज बीट हिम
Hmm.
rather than him sitting out. But ठीक है, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously Neeraj is the one. We are all of us are hoping for another gold, uh, whether Nadeem is there or not. The top three names I think is pretty clear right now, right? Neeraj, Weber, and Nadeem. Those are like the top three. वो भी Nadeem तो hasn't competed. We are just saying based on उसने जो last year किया है and ठीक है he showed up in
एशियन
Asian.
में कंप्लीट किया ना,
But Asian
compete
में
किया ना.
it wasn't that great, right? He got what 87, 88. Did he pass 90 eventually?
No, no, he did not. It
So
was 86, 87 ऐसे ही कुछ था.
हाँ तो Asian में it wasn't that great, right? His performance wasn't that great. Sachin was in fact pretty close to him, and it's not like the conditions were bad or anything. So we are saying he's top three based on his Olympic performance. Because last year also he's hardly competed. Olympics के अलावा hardly he competed. 2025 maybe he's not competed. There's
तो इवन इफ ही competes in world championship, ईगो वाली बात हो जाती है ना. As a Olympic champion, you have to medal. I
नहीं नहीं
mean,
वो तो
nothing
बात
less
है
than a
ही
medal.
नहीं नहीं वो तो मना कर ही नहीं रहे if he the Olympics is proof right he barely competed in 2024 came and he didn't even he what reached almost 93 92 97 या कुछ था उसका winning throw eventually. So you definitely can't discount him. You have to mention him as one of the favorites, probably the favorite if he does show up. But वही बात है कि he has to show up first. And उसके बाद obviously Neeraj and Weber have been exchanging tournaments for the past year since Paris, up and down. Weber has maybe had the slightly upper hand over Neeraj this year, but obviously it's been very close. And then you have Adlech, who hasn't competed for a while, but who might show up. And I don't know. I would imagine that if everyone shows up, the medals will be those. Acha, and Anderson Peters, I forgot him. Anderson
Hmm.
Peters is the other guy. जो जिसका भी है ना
Yeah, he's
परफॉर्मेंस
been
बहुत अप
there.
एंड डाउन होता
Hmm.
है,
Hmm.
बट ही इज
Up
आल्सो
and down
अनदर.
hota hai, but like he shows up in the major events. That's a good thing for Anderson Peterson.
Yeah, he's a guy
Olympics
you
में
can
भी
never
came up
count
with
out.
a bronze. Yeah.
Can never count out. And then of course there's this new guy De Silva, who is the wild card in there.
ठीक है, which is again one of only. I'm not reading too much into it. It's
बट आई थिंक
it was a
एक ही
domestic
बार एक ही बार
competition.
फेंका कि दो बार फेंका, आई थॉट एक दो
90
बार,
प्लस
दो
उसी
या तीन
इवेंट
बार फेंका है.
में दो तीन बार था
अच्छा,
जो भी
एक
था.
ही
He's
इवेंट में
been
दो तीन बार
a
फेंका, ओके.
86 guy as well this year, but I mean, we still need to see him. How does he perform at a major championship? So that way, I'm not too concerned because we all know Neeraj is consistent when
या
it
या
comes to the major championship also.
आई मीन
There's no chance of his form getting, dipped. So
या आई
that
मीन
ways he'll be there among the medals.
या आई मीन वी हैव नो डाउट कि नीरज विल ब्रिंग इट, राइट, उसमें कोई डाउट है ही नहीं. I mean, yeah, if you have to predict, I would obviously predict the medals will eventually be those three, provided everyone shows up, Nadeem, Weber, and Neeraj in some order. What order,
Hmm.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
in some order, it should be those three, with Peters and maybe uh, Peters, Da Silva, and Badlish being the biggest challengers to that.
Yeah, I mean you have to keep De Silva in the conversation for sure because like 86 से पहले भी कर रहा था
हाँ,
तो
मैक्स डेनिंग तो गया आया, कुछ हुआ नहीं उसका बाद में, नॉट
hmm,
काउंटिंग हिम.
yeah. So he needs to the Brazilian needs to prove himself at a major championship is what I'm looking at. Otherwise, so like talent is definitely there. इसमें भी he showed up in Neeraj Chopra Classic as well, right? I think he finished second or third, something like that.
Was he there or was he gonna come and eventually didn't come? मेरे को ऐसा याद आता है he was gonna come and
I don't
eventually
know.
didn't come. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember properly.
I don't remember. Yeah.
ठीक है, चलो देखते हैं, मजा
Yeah,
आएगा.
so that's mostly on the athletics.
आई थिंक आज अपना
But
कितना
हाँ
3 घंटे का स्ट्रीम हो गया ऑलमोस्ट.
हाँ 3 घंटे का राइट.
मैं तेरे को बोला था कि है ना, तू कितनी भी कोशिश कर ले, बैडमिंटन में टाइम लगता ही है, और आज अपन ने रेसलिंग में भी बहुत टाइम लगा.
ठीक है. सो बैडमिंटन में भी डिस्कस्ड अ लॉट ऑफ अदर नुआंसेस आल्सो. करने को तो और भी कंसाइज कर ही सकते थे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था.
नहीं
बट
बट ठीक
ठीक
है.
है, इट वाज अ फ्री फ्लोइंग कॉन्वर्सेशन तो मजा आया. इट्स बीन अ वाइल.
या वैसे सम्राटी सिंह डसिल्वा वाज देयर एट एनसी क्लासिक, फिनिश फोर्थ अपेरेंटली. ठीक है, चलो
कूल.
चल,
सो या अ लॉट
लेट्स
ऑफ
सी.
स्टफ टू लुक फॉरवर्ड टू. पहली कौन सी चैंपियनशिप है? इट्स
शेड्यूल
बैडमिंटन
मेरे
राइट?
पास है बाय द वे, आई कैन जस्ट से अगर किसी को चाहिए तो. किधर गया मेरा? हाँ,
आई थिंक बैडमिंटन पहली
बैडमिंटन
है
इज
स्टार्टिंग
फर्स्ट.
इन
So
अगस्त.
badminton is August 25, boxing is September 4, archery is September 5, athletics and wrestling both are September 13. These are like the official dates. एक दो दिन कई बार बाद में चालू होती है. पहला दिन is like arrival day and all. But yeah, August 25th, then September 4th and 5th, and then September 13th.
Which is the one you are looking forward to the most?
Hmm.
Like
Oh,
your
I mean,
in
oh,
order of ranking, first, second, and third. Maybe
yeah.
not the world championship, but
I mean,
main
I
things
can
that
tell
you're
you
looking at.
honestly, I can tell you which is fifth, which is easy.
Boxing.
No, fifth is honestly badminton. That's that is my opinion.
Seriously.
Yeah, I think fifth is badminton. Boxing में there is a curiosity. That is the thing. It's you don't know where everybody stands, and it's a new federation also running it. So there might be new things in it. So boxing is a curiosity. So from that perspective, I'm looking forward to it. Wrestling में अपन ने बात की है, again वही वाली बात है. We want to see where we stand and everything. Archery is definitely something where, archery is in fact one thing where we can say that we are competing at our level, maybe not at the highest level, maybe slightly lower, but it is closer to our best level, which we have been archery में. क्योंकि आर्चरी का बेस्ट लेवल ही हमारा उतना होता है, ओके, हमारा बेस्ट लेवल ही इज नॉट दैट हाई, सो दैट इज द रीजन. एंड देन फाइनली तुम्हारा एथलेटिक्स में ऑब्वियसली आई एम मेनली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू जैवलिन थ्रो, एंड इफ मुरली मेक्स इट देन टू द लॉन्ग जंप. उसके अलावा ठीक है.
मतलब टॉप के एथलीट्स देखना है, उसके नीचे ध्यान ही नहीं देना है कपिल, है ना?
ऐसा नहीं ध्यान
जब
देना.
तक ऊपर आते हैं तो ठीक है, देख लूंगा, नहीं तो भाड़ में जाए.
देख, भाड़ में जाए वाली बात नहीं है, लेकिन यू आस्क विच आर माई मोस्ट एक्साइटेड अबाउट, तो वो तो वैसे ही होता है.
ठीक है, आई एम जस्ट किडिंग. ठीक है, कूल.
या तेरे कौन से हैं, तेरे बता. मोस्ट आई थिंक बैडमिंटन एंड एथलेटिक्स फॉर यू.
हाँ,
रेसलिंग.
मतलब for me I'm pretty clear, like the main thing I'm looking forward to is the women's wrestling. कि I need to track it, how this journey shapes up, how's the progress is, and obviously the journey, the way I am looking at things, I think it's a start of something really good. So that's why women's wrestling सबसे पहले तो. Secondly, सात्विक चिराग का level कितना है? I don't know how much we'll get to see that or not in this, because draw थोड़ा deadly है, but that is what I'm looking at. Third,
एंड
athletics
एथलेटिक्स.
में, of course, like I think right now पिछली 2-3 चैंपियनशिप अगर देखेगा, ओलंपिक्स इंक्लूडेड, javelin throw is in the most exciting phase currently from a competitiveness standpoint. इतना ज़्यादा competition रहा नहीं है javelin में, जब से नीरज जीतने लगा है, बेसिकली यूजीन के टाइम से, राइट? 22. So yeah, that's something need to look forward to. But हाँ, athletics में तो there are obviously so many storylines. Murli Sri Shankar देखना है, the triple jumpers, need to see how are they performing, कौन finalist हो सकता है, that is something we can look at. Of course Animesh is there, so that'll be a super exciting event. कितना ज़्यादा ऊपर जा सकता है Animesh, if he can qualify for semi final or not. So yeah, these are a few things I am looking forward to.
या राइट. एंड जाते जाते आई जस्ट से वैभव सोनी इज कमेंटिंग के कपिल होपफुली आल्सो एक्साइटेड फॉर ग्रैंड स्विस. एंड वैभव मनोचा ने मेरे को बहुत वार्निंग दिया था आज के क्रिकेट चेस नहीं होगा, तो आई हैव नॉट टॉक्ड
वार्निंग नहीं
अबाउट इट.
था, अल्टीमेटम था, ठीक है?
जो भी बोल ले, हाँ
कि
कि
पार्टनरशिप एंडेड, अगर
हाँ
कपिल ने चेस और क्रिकेट की बात की
हाँ.
आज तो.
बट या जाते जाते आई जस्ट से कि मेरा मैक्सिमम टाइम ग्रैंड स्विस में ही जाने वाला है. आई थिंक द अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम आई एम गोना स्पेंड वाचिंग ग्रैंड स्विस, आई वोंट स्पेंड वाचिंग all the other five together. I'll just say that. Good chance.
So
It also has to do
Kapil,
with coverage. It
I
also has
think
to do with
you
coverage.
really need to think of starting a separate cricket and chess on my mind channel.
भैया देख, क्रिकेट
I
इज
think
नाउ पार्ट ऑफ द ओलंपिक्स. हाँ, तू चेस
that's
का बोल
a
सकता है.
really need of the hour. तो तू एक बना ले, honestly.
देख, तू चेस के बारे
Honest
में बोल सकता है.
suggestion.
तू चेस के बारे में बोल सकता है. क्रिकेट इज नाउ एन ओलंपिक स्पोर्ट. यू कैन नॉट से एनीथिंग अबाउट क्रिकेट. यू हैव टू गेट ऑन बोर्ड विद
It
क्रिकेट नाउ.
is not the Olympic sports for which we started this channel. Let
Doesn't
me be
matter.
very
It's an
clear.
Olympic
It
sport.
matters. It
No, it
matters. There
doesn't.
was a reason we started this channel, right? Cricket was not in our equation at that point.
मेरे
Does not
इक्वेशन में
matter if
सारे
it's
स्पोर्ट्स
a.
थे.
ठीक है, तू अपना एक क्रिकेट एंड चेस का अलग से बना, एंड टॉक एज मच एज यू वांट देयर.
ठीक है, चल छोड़. एनीवेज, या सो उसके अलावा अभी ऑब्वियसली शूटिंग वर्ल्ड कप भी है. सो है अभी.
शूटिंग में तो एशियन चैंपियनशिप भी स्टार्ट हो
एशियन
रही है,
चैंपियनशिप,
आई
हाँ, कल
थिंक.
कल परसों
कल
से चालू हो
परसों
रही.
से ही. हाँ हाँ.
फिर एक सितंबर में वर्ल्ड कप भी है, सो
By
दैट्स
the way,
आल्सो देयर.
Asian Championship में, like, the Chinese and the Koreans are also fully packed. So it'll be interesting. हमारी भी best team ही जा रही है.
हाँ.
So even the Chinese and Koreans are coming
और
with a
शूटिंग में तो एनीवेज अब
full.
सिचुएशन ये सेकंड टीम और बेस्ट टीम में फर्क भी नहीं रहा है.
फर्क नहीं है, हाँ सही बात है. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि सेकंड स्ट्रिंग टीम आप बोल सकते हो कि जा रही है या ऐसा कुछ.
आई बाय द वे, सो मनु भाकर वाज द थर्ड क्वालिफायर ना, तो शी इज नॉट इन मिक्स टीम. सौरभ चौधरी है मिक्स टीम में, बट मनु भाकर
ओ,
मिक्स टीम में नहीं है एशियन में,
ओके ओके.
बिकॉज शी वाज द
हाँ,
थर्ड
हो सकता है,
क्वालिफायर.
हो सकता है.
चलो.
So yeah, exciting few days coming up. All right. Okay, guys. I hope you two had a good time. We enjoyed talking about it. So yeah, good night. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Yeah, chalo, enjoy watching sports and enjoy what else. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye bye.